Well, hello.
Hey, good afternoon.
Man, this week has been a crazy week here. We had flooding in my city yesterday. So that I mean, flooding as high as street signs from the rain downtown. Because the rain just came in so fast and furious. Hey everyone. And we've had earthquakes in the past 2 weeks. So, who knows what's going to happen. And Phil's still trolling me about not having a beard. It's coming back. Give me a break.
Slowly but surely.
And, oh yeah, so there's Daisy. Hey, Daisies. Steve, I wanted to say thank you. I got a package in the mail. And I got a bottle of blueberry mead and a bottle of regular mead. Neither one had been opened yet, but my daughter's coming in from Germany, and I plan for us to eliminate those with extreme caution when she comes in this weekend. So,
yeah, hopefully it won't be too long. I'll be having some mead here. I just ordered some stuff, got some in today, and I'm waiting on my glass carboys to come in next Tuesday, and I'll start making a little mead myself.
So you guys think that we don't learn stuff from you guys, right? So all this talk about mead and has stimulated Lee into becoming a mead maker. So I would love to do it, but I've got so much going on right now. It's just kind of crazy. People were asking me, could I etch honey jars? I sure can. So if you're looking to, do some kind of wedding gift or something for, I don't know if you can see it with the light bouncing off of it, some kind of wedding gift or something, something fancy schmancy you're giving away on glass, I can do it. It's been pretty good. A week and a half. What do we figure? A week and a half, 2 weeks of having the laser.
Yeah, roundabout.
And been pretty busy. I got a tumbler order. I've done 2 signs, some other tumblers I've done. Oh yeah, you can prank it, but if I don't recognize it, you're going to be pranking my voicemail for the most part. So
That's me. If a number rings and I don't recognize it, they can leave a voicemail or text me and say, "Hey, it's me calling." Then I'll answer.
So I had an order of these, some bee bum from bee bum apiaries. Wanted a case of these. So, well, this was one I did. I went to Walmart just to get one to give them a display, a show what I could do, and they loved it. So they ordered a case, and I've got the case coming in this week. So it's been pretty busy. I'm what do we figure, about 50%. My laser is about 50% earned its money back. So not bad. And I've got people, after I post up pictures of stuff, a lot of times I'll get hey, can you do this on Facebook, or can you do that? And I'm like, yep, sure can. So trying to do that. So if that's something you're interested in, hit me up, email, or call me or text me if you got my number. Or Matt just said, I just bottled my experimental mead today. I'm calling it Bourbon Trail. It also racked a 5-gallon batch of blackberry mead. That's awesome.
You want your email up there?
Yeah, you can drop my email if something you're interested in.
It's messed up. Wrong email.
Oh, yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah, I missed something there. Let me go back.
Close. If you put 2016 after the R. Walker.
Yeah, I'm about to fix that in the system.
So, I see Amir's in here. Amir gave me Saturday. He gave me 4 Virgin Queens. Went and picked up from him. I think that was Saturday. No, it was yesterday, Sunday.
There's the correct email for Bob.
And let me see. I got 5 boys. I call them ladies sometimes. It cracks me up too. Right. So what have you been doing in your bee yard? That's why everybody came here.
Very little lately. I'd wanted to do some more this weekend, but we had rain. It's been raining all day today. We rained out half a day at work today. And I got so much honey I need to pull. I got about 20, 25 supers left I need to pull off and can't get to them.
It has been raining here so much. Today was the first day that it hasn't rained, but it was so muggy. It was like you're in a swamp. As soon as you go outside, it's just all over you.
We only got to about 83, 84 degrees today, but we was at 97% humidity.
It's supposed to rain again tonight. Yesterday was so insane. Let me see if I'll pull up another YouTube tab here. Let me see if I can show y'all what it was like here yesterday. Columbia FC flooding.
We showing rain all the way through next Thursday.
All right, check this out. This is raw footage from the I gotta share my screen, sorry. Share screen. Make sure I share my system audio if there is any. And we'll go to screen 1. So let me wait for the ad to get over it. I'll pop it in here. Add to stream, skip ads. This was on the University of South Carolina yesterday.
We ain't got it that bad here right now, but my front ditch is overflowed into the yard.
It was pretty bad. Now, luckily, everybody sees my driveway used to wrap all the way around the back of my house, right around the apiary, around the back of the house and out the other side. But it was back in 2015, we had something like this everywhere. And it washed out my driveway on one side of the house, and so I've been trying to slowly fix it, But yeah, it came down so quick yesterday. It was nice. I did a live video, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just poured and poured and poured, and it's been raining every day. Let's see, on the 10-day, I think it's rained like 8 of the last 10 days, and I'm showing rain all the way every day until Monday and Tuesday of next week. So it's there's definitely a bunch of rain that's been in the area. And you know what? I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, well, that's bad, right? It's definitely bad. But it could also end up being a good thing, right? I mean, for the fall.
Yeah.
The fall blooms. So, probably the biggest question I've had lately has been, you got feed out, but and still have some supers on? Yes, I do. But the thing is, you guys don't know what's in the supers. There's a lot of empty foundation in those supers too, and there's a lot of capped honey. Well, not a lot, but there's capped honey in there as well. So the few colonies that you see that are really stacked tall, I'm trying to utilize their strength to make food for weaker colonies for the winter. So I don't know if it'll work out. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. We'll see. That's kind of how my whole year has gone. Kind of maybe it will, maybe it won't. But it's just weird. This place has had, the flooding and earthquakes in the past few weeks. So it's really not typical of our area, but it has been that way lately. But as far as the bees, the out yard looks good. The ones that I gave the brood bombs to, they're all doing good. Matter of fact, I might have to go over to the one that I didn't put an extra super on top. I might have to go over there and put have to put the another box on top of it.
You add your peppermints to it?
I did yesterday. I added 4 to each box.
I know at least this time of the year, whenever the nectar kind of stops flowing in, the hive beetles can get really bad.
Well, with those, it seems like they're. Yeah, that's the thing. When I started trying to do my inspection Saturday, I opened up a box, and man, it was my intention. I went out early. It was my intention to open them up, pull off honey that I could. And as soon as I opened in boxes, I had bees flying everywhere. So I was like, nope, close them up, throw some feed out. And as I'm doing that first inspection, I have a swarm. So what do I have to do? Close up that box, right? Close it back up, deal with my swarm, catch my swarm. And which I did. And turns out that it was actually pretty good timing for it to happen, because that first box, it was really looking bad and didn't have a queen. So I caught the swarm and introduced it to the queenless colony. And
you didn't do like I did when you went out there and seen that swarm, huh?
What? Make a new shirt?
No, are those mine?
No, I could see him leaving the colony. So I was like, oh, okay, that's him. And it's just been muggy today. Even you go outside and it's just like, you'll start sweating right away. Plus today, for some reason, I just haven't felt good today. So just kind of chilling. I went to the post office, mailed out stuff, and, just trying to earn back. But I think what I'm going to do, I might do an additional giveaway tonight. We might just do a second spin. We'll say
we can do that.
So what I'm going to do, and it takes a little audience participation. So, we don't ask for super chats or anything like that. Of course, they're always welcome if you choose to. That's, up to you guys. But we do ask that you thumbs up the video. We appreciate it when you do that. And the other thing that I would need your appreciation with, if you have subs and would share this either out to your social media or to your community tab by hitting the share button at the bottom of the video, that'll just help get the show out there a little bit more. And we would really appreciate that. But here's what I plan to do. All right, so this would be the extra giveaway. A piece of wood. But not only a piece of wood. If on the secondary spin, after we give away the top hive feeder, you can win a personalized honey plaque for your apiary, but you'll have to send me your logo so I know what to put on there. So that's what I want to do to it'll keep the old man busy, if you will. I have no social. I am not people friendly. Well, then give us a thumbs up anyway. That's appreciated. So just a little extra thing. I would really like, honestly, to put Dry Cut's logo on one. Now, that I said that. He'll probably win, and you guys all say it's rigged, but it's not.
As long as Earl don't make his prediction.
And I got to get those signs out. I really want to redo your sign, Lee, and change it from a image to a fill, so I can. This is just printed. This is like burnt right on the wood, right? It's smooth. But if I etch it, it'll get deep, and then I could probably color your Kodiak Farms black like you do on your stuff, or blue if you want the blue one. Either one. I have to buy blue paint, but
yeah.
Other than that, I can make it happen. But that's a something to try to do. Done on Facebook. Thanks, James. Appreciate you, buddy. And that'll just help get us out there.
There's your winner right there too.
Yeah, I called your name out. I spoke him into existence, William. I said I'd really like to do your logo, that dry cut logo that you've got on this plaque with my laser. So the second winner will be for this plaque. Now, I will tell you, with this plaque, it is maple. However, these are not perfect plaques. These plaques are not, they're not, you see there's like, you can see the little stuff in there, right?
So,
yeah, and I've hit this with the sandpaper, but I don't have a planer and all that, but I do try to, make the edges nicer and stuff, and just to let you know that the wood is not exactly perfect. Yeah, say it 3 times like Beetlejuice, right? William, or dry cut, and then all of a sudden we got a dry cut siding.
Yeah, Brian.
And there's Brian, and so we're just hanging out, guys. It's Tuesday night after a holiday weekend. I've got to figure out what to do. I've got so much stuff piling up on my desk now, with bottles of honey, bottles of mead, my laser etched jar this is actually obvious. This is more buckwheat, and this is buckwheat honey actually, but it's crazy. So with the yard, I'm going to have to start tearing down these bigger colonies maybe here soon. I'm starting to wet rag and a clothes iron. That'll pop the grain, right? The wet rag, steam it out, and try to make things go. So I am shifting a little bit right now. I haven't even really sat by the road, but I think I'm going to go down to the local country store tomorrow. And hey, Brad, and try to.
I was about to hit the button on Brad, but I'm going to give him a break.
Yeah, see, since we started doing that, Hey, buckwheat makes some very strong honey.
I like it though.
Very, very strong honey.
I prefer the fall honey, either the buckwheat or goldenrod. It adds that smell to it. It's a stronger flavor, but I prefer it over the early sweet stuff.
See, there you go, Brian. You move another one out there, then you got to replace one in your yard, so you're getting up to that 15 to 20 range. But even the little swarm nuke where I added Jose's Queen to it, it's doing good. I've taken a frame of eggs out of there. And I just dropped the link, by the way. If anybody's interested in joining us tonight, I will pin that to my top, and I'm sure Lee's doing the same thing over there. And I wonder.
I didn't see it pop up yet.
Really? It already popped up on mine. It popped up about 4 or 5 messages ago for me.
Oh, okay. There it is up there. I thought you had just dropped it. All right, don't mind.
And I wonder if Phil got his shirt yet. Probably. He's got them both, Jim. He's got light and dark colored queens. Just depends on which ones you get. Mine, I had a mix. So Just depends on what you're looking for. I wanted a mix because I wanted my genetics mixed. Yep, by chicken numbers, 20 is 30 or so. Absolutely. But yeah, so with my colonies, I'm debating whether or not I should go ahead and move my 5-frame. I do have a couple 5/5s that I haven't been in a couple weeks that are probably ready to go into 10-frame boxes now. Hopefully I thought, and I probably didn't, hopefully I thought enough ahead to where I left enough room on the stand to put a 10-frame box when I move a 5/5, right? That'll be the next problem. But you know, the funny thing was the colony that swarmed they hadn't even filled the whole box. Like the outside frames did not have comb drawn on them. So I was surprised that they even swarmed, because it's not like they would have been probably overly packed for the frames they had drawn out. That's awesome. I haven't pulled that much. Hey, I got to get a deal like you guys, man. Everybody on the stream team gets an extractor. I got to figure that out. I'm in the wrong business. I saw you got an extractor. Greg got an extractor. Bruce didn't get an extractor that I've seen, but everybody's getting extractors. Where was all the extractors when I was paying for mine? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's been nice. Hey, just keep on going up.
Oh, and at the post office, I found out that their prices are going up in like next week. They're going up.
Putting that in your mouth, DC, going to get on to you.
Oh, usually it's James. I know. I'm trying. Well, not really. I'm not trying that hard, guys. I'll be honest with you.
I can't say much. I'm still vaping.
And Red Italians. Brian, you paid full price for yours? That's pretty much, it's funny because like even with Blythewood, all the stuff that I give away, they pay for. But when I go there, I pay full price. I don't get I won't say I've never gotten a discount, right? Like I've got a couple little of those hive top feeders, and they gave me.
Yeah, I've seen that field. Their shipping went up.
Oh, really? They moved their shipping up too?
Well, used to it was $100 and you'd get free shipping. Now you got to buy at least $150 worth to get free shipping.
Well, it's not really free shipping because it's added in the price.
You're going to end up paying for it somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian, I don't mind supporting good business either, brother. And I typically don't ask either when I go. I probably could be a little more. Yeah, $150 isn't hard to do, but the shipping isn't really free. It's just blended in the payment.
Even if the shipping or if the value of what you buying went up to $150 to get the free shipping, like you say, it don't take long because the cost of everything went up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you could pretty much buy the same thing you bought before and still hit the free mark.
Brian, are you in town or out of town? The link should be pinned if you want to join us. Anybody wants to join us? $150 is like 3 deeps. Yep. By the time you put the frames and all in them. I was really disappointed in myself this year, though, so far, because I bought all that equipment early in the year, right? And did not need all of it, right? I didn't use like the supers and stuff like that. I didn't use all the supers. I mean, I do have more, more that I guess could be used next year and stuff like that. But this year I didn't need as many as I thought I would.
You talking about hit 150? I mean, with the deeps, better be they've done went up to 71.95 right now for a complete 10 deep with frames.
For what?
For a deep with 10 frames, that's wood frame with a plastic foundation.
$75.
71.95.
Well, even the Acorn plastic frames that I've got now that I bought for like $225 are actually like $3 now. So yeah, my carnies, it depends on what day of the week or how they feel that day. Hey, there he is.
There's Brian.
B,
How you doing?
you're muted, bro. I can't hear you. He didn't have time to set up beforehand.
Test.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
There we go.
Hey, man, how's it going?
It's going.
So you're going to have a bumper crop this year for you?
Man,
Looks
I tell
that
you
way.
what, best I've ever heard you, Brian Madmort. I didn't see Madmort say hello, ladies, so I'm sure he did.
Yeah, he did. He did.
But-
he said hello.
Yeah, every single one of my new colonies has a completely filled super, and they're starting to like draw out frames and stuff in a second. And they're 8-week-old colonies.
Now, when you started, did you have drawn comb for them to fill, or was it all fresh foundation?
I checkerboarded. So I had, drawn and then brand new, drawn. I checkerboarded basically all of my supers like that.
Every one I did, not everyone. Most of mine only had empty foundation when I started. So I had to let them start drawing 10, and then I would pull one out and space it to 9. So they were a little bit behind to begin with. Plus, I only really had initially thought I was going to pull off a 12, but it ends up being like 4 because of all the splits and everything I did.
Yeah.
It's just one of those years that I'm not going to get that much honey, but it's okay. It's okay. I got lots of bees now.
Yeah.
So hopefully, make them through winter and go into the spring.
Next year, you'll have plenty of honey.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully.
I've got 16. Well, I take that back. So prior to today, I had 16 supers between all of my colonies, and there's almost 10 that I could harvest. So
yeah, that should be around 500 pounds almost.
No, 10. Well, they're 8 framers and a couple
8 framers.
So yeah,
I was figuring 3 pounds per frame, 10 frames. That's 30 pounds a super.
That's what I figure, anywhere between 30 and 32.
Yeah. Amir just said I should pull my barnyard ones. And I just went over. I didn't have time to pull them. I just, yesterday when I was working them, I literally, I had a certain amount of time. I'm like, I got to go through and check them. And then after that, it was like, well, I want to get cleaned up and then do 4th of July stuff. And when I saw those supers, I was just like, oh, crap.
I might have big news next month.
Uh-oh.
Amir is my buddy, right? He lives across town.
Oh, okay.
Well, Amir has a sailboat down in Tampa.
Really?
And for the next 5 months or so, he's gonna 5 to 6 months, he's gonna be out sailing and enjoying himself. So he is planning to hook me up with his colonies.
Oh, nice.
So I might be absorbing his apiary into my apiary.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That'd be nice.
So keep the bees alive for him.
Keep you busy.
Yeah, you know what? I feel so bad because between the rain and just the sweltering heat, on the days it's not raining, because of all the rain we've had, it is so humid. I mean, it is just, you walk outside and you start sweating.
Yep.
Immediately. And it's not fun.
Even in the evening here, it was 6:30 or whatever, and I'm out working in the garden, and it's 81 degrees, and it's almost 80% humidity. It's like 74 or 76% humidity, something like that. And it's like, you know, even though it's 81, I'm out there sweating like a pig. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yep.
Hey, Brian, I want you to send me your beekeeping, not the one with the cartoon bee on it that you use, but I want you to send me the Castle Hives, like the one you use for the sticker logo. I'm going to try something. I want to try to make a Castle Hives clock on my laser. Yes, that one. I'm gonna try to make a Castle Hives clock on my laser.
Do you want the PNG file or the JPEG?
Either one, it's fine. I'm gonna trace. I'll do the trace feature, and I'm gonna try to. That's why I'm not. I'll try to make a clock with that logo in the center, a wooden one.
I'll send you both of them. That way, because the PNG file, because it's the clear background.
Right.
That might work.
Yeah. Either way, I go in there and I have to do a trace feature anyway, and it gives it the lines and.
Okay.
But it'll come out good.
I like working with the PNGs better anyway. It's easier.
Yeah. I saw Amir say he was going to be sailing the Caribbean. Amir, between August 20th and the 27th, swing by Turks and Caicos, and I'll be there.
Hey, I saw where you had a picture of, I forget what animal it was, but they were drinking a Carib beer in the Caribbean. And I've had that beer in the Caribbean. And if you don't know about Caribbean beer, a lot of it has, what's embalming fluid? What's that made out of? Formaldehyde. Yeah, it's got formaldehyde in it to sterilize it. So it's got a little distinct taste to it.
I just have to drink more of that, and then I'll live longer.
Yep. I mean, that's what I did in the Navy. Look how young I look.
There you go. There you go. That's it.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
I just embalmed myself from the inside out.
Oh, my.
But I'll tell you what, Brian, you kind of got me started down this laser road, even though you don't know it, with your 3D printing. Because we had talked about 3D printers.
I've been printing these jobbies now, too. I got a couple of orders for these things. So I had to get the file from my brother because he had the original file. He's the one that actually designed these with, like, the name and that in it. So
I know what I need you to 3D print me. You might have to search it on Etsy. I know it's on there. You might be able to get a free file, but the X tool has little 3D feet that you can mount on it and mount on a board. So you're not shifting it around. It's always in the same location. You just screw it. So even if you lift it up and add the extensions on the legs to make it higher, it's still sitting in the same spot.
Oh, okay.
So,
just email me or text me like the name of that laser, because there's a website. Well, there's two that I use. I use one that's called Thingiverse, and then there's also another one. It's called Thangs, Thangs, and it searches like Thingiverse. It searches Prusa. It basically searches every 3D like website out there.
Right.
And you just type in like a keyword, like that name of that laser, and it'll just
pop up everything.
Spits out everything. Yeah.
I haven't begun to defile myself with what this thing can do. I've only done a few items, right? I mean, everything from photos to tiles. There's people doing slate coasters and I mean,
it's
granite.
It's almost unlimited.
Oh yeah,
it is. I mean, like you see what Matt does.
Matt has been.
I mean,
he's so helpful. So helpful. He doesn't care. He's like, you're not going to eat into my business, dude. I got business that I can't. That I too much.
Yeah,
right.
I thought he might ask you for a little help, huh?
Well, hey,
Right.
I got it. You see, my laser's not running at the moment. It's sitting right over there on pause until my tumblers come in.
Man, my printers, if I'm home, I'm nonstop from when I wake up to when I go to bed.
Yeah, that's here too. I get up first thing in the morning, feed all the animals, go check the bees, come back in. Might have to run an errand like to the post office or something. Shoot, hold on. My mind is
What's
going
the
crazy
electric
here.
bill on those? DC, I don't know. I know my 3D printers, because they're smaller, it's not a lot.
Mine's basically got a laptop
minimal.
power supply, and it's a 10-watt laser, so it's not.
Yeah, it's minimal.
It's not crazy, but Kevin Monfelt from Hives for Heroes.
Yeah,
that's who ordered these.
Oh, slick.
So I actually had to edit. That's one thing that I can do with the software, that because on his logo, the bee bum is smaller. So when I do a trace, I can actually increase the size of different. I kept his font, but I had to make the bee bum larger so it would show up with the laser better. So he ordered a case of these things. So
hey,
Charles,
what's up, Charlie?
Good. Looks like you got some honey there, Brian.
Huh?
Looks like you're getting some honey in there.
I finally will. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. It's paid off all of the work.
Does it ever really pay it off?
No.
It don't ruin it, Bob, because in my head it's paying off.
Because that's my thing. Last year I'm like, oh, this is getting paid off. Everything's good. And then I bought a bunch of stuff, and this year I'm sitting. This happened my first year. I bought a bunch of stuff, didn't use all of it. The next year, all of a sudden I didn't have enough stuff. And now this year I bought a bunch of stuff and didn't use it all. So hopefully next year I'm back to not having enough stuff.
I'll be sitting in good shape though, because last year I bought like 200, a case of like 240 1-pound jars. I got like 120 2-pounders. I got the half-pounders from Blue Sky. I went out one day and just thought, well, while I'm here, I might as well stock up on bottles. So I've got all the bottles, all the lids. I have all that stuff literally just sitting in boxes. So it's actually it'll all kind of come together this year now.
And so that's the thing. It's always, for me, it's like regulating how much space I have, storage space for all my crap, right? And trying to keep some semblance of where everything's at, and having enough stuff. Like I've got frames. I mean, I've got frames still. I've got everything I need. I can go out there right now, make colonies, Lord, I don't know. I was sitting there thinking, I don't think I need to do that. But
I'm going to turn right this way. Yes, it is. That's a progressive press.
Oh, well, then you need one of these in your life, Brian. You need one of these in your life.
Oh.
It is
I saw that.
The tumbler.
Yeah, I've got two here. I've got the Lee APP and I've got the Lee ACP. So I can, decap them and size them, and then it's the auto primer. So I kind of, even though I have the progressive press, I kind of do like a hybrid kind of setup, because I've had problems with priming on that press here and there. It just, you'll be good for a little while and you get comfortable. And the first time you have a primer blow up in the press and you literally jump through the roof, you kind of change how you do things.
A little more cautious when you do things.
Yeah.
Let me see. How did you grow? Split. Well, I did several things this year, to be honest with you. I wasn't planning to do everything I did. It just kind of happen that way. So I did my splits in the spring. Then I added a few nukes that I bought, right? That helped. I started. The biggest thing that helped me the biggest thing that helped me grow this year was, I think, me selling queens.
Oh.
And even though I was buying them at a discounted price for buying bulk and then reselling, it gave me enough excess queens to make splits and let them grow into their boxes. So, that really helped with the growth of my yard.
Mad Mort, I saw, asked about growing. Yeah, this year, I swear, I just got lucky. Is about all it was, because I was keeping an eye on my colonies, watching them grow. And when I saw that they had cups starting, it was like every about 5 days then or so, I was peeking. And I'm like, all right, what are they doing? And as soon as I saw that there were, charged cells, I was pulling splits in that, and had it about timed. Timing wise, I was like maybe a week off, so I was almost spot on my timing. But
that comes from the experience of the years you've been doing it where you're at, right?
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's this time of year. I'm getting ready to have this happen and that happen.
Yeah.
And
this year, there were several things that fell in place for me that has led to what I'm seeing now. So,
well, I'm planning, hopefully this year, at Charlie's suggestion, I'm going to start a list for nukes, right? Early nukes, because that's one of the blessings of being down here. It's a curse and a blessing. So the curse is we can't find queens early in the year for nukes because all the commercial guys are getting them ahead of us, which that makes sense. They're buying 10,000 queens. I'm buying some queens or no queens, So this year I'm hoping to be able to split early and make some, or start a list and go pick some up from Qdix for people to buy, and then I'll try to make a run,
Yeah. That what Hale Hive said there, I mean, that's about what I did, because my first few years, I think in my first 3 years, I never had more than 4. I was just kind of tinkering and just learning and things like that. And then 4, and, last year 5. Now this year.
Would you find it more forgiving? And could be a question for Charlie and you. Do you find it more forgiving to have a few colonies or to have a bunch of colonies? It's been my experience having more colonies has been more forgiving for me, because I can resources, right? I can move them around. Where if you have a few, like let's say Phil for Mana Bees has 2 colonies. If one goes queenless, then he's kind of strapped for the resources to.
Yeah, you don't have anything to work with.
Yep. And I agree with that.
Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, go ahead, Charlie.
I said that's where the concept of a resource hives come in, is that around here, some folks suggest 1 resource hive per hive, or let's say 1 for every 2. Because and for instance, I had one of my honey hives, queen got above the excluder. I took those 2 supers off that had all kinds of brood in there. I couldn't find her, but she's there. And I made another honey hive, because that's what I had planned on doing this year, is upping my honey hives. And, the bottom had no queen in it. Well, right behind me there, I had a queen in a 2-framer. So I just I pulled 2 frames out of that box. I left them queenless for 2 days. And then I made sure that I marked the queen. I made sure she was between her 2 frames, kind of like protecting her. And then I just dropped her in. I'm pretty sure she'll be fine.
Yeah.
I did that earlier in the year. I dropped a whole nuke in a colony, and it took off. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it started regressing for some reason. and that's the one that I actually ended up taking that swarm that I caught, and I caught it in a pro nuke, and immediately I didn't even let them get used to the pro nuke. Immediately moved the whole box with the queen and introduced them like they swarmed right to that other box.
Wow.
And they we'll see how they go.
Look at Jeff there. Jeez, oh man.
Well, I haven't told you where I'm at right now. It's sickening.
I own 2 double nuke, resource hives.
Yeah, I've seen them.
And for the numbers where I'm at, like if I like to stay around 10 or so, it's okay.
But it's not bad to make sure that you, like, even if you had to take a queen out of your resource colony, they're immediately going to start making a new queen, right? And that's the same thing I'm doing with my nukes. If my nukes or my 2-frame nukes die, I don't get very sad about it, because really it was 1 frame of bees, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't get too sad about it. I can just put another frame of brood in there and let them go.
I only had one side of my resource hive with a colony in it this year, and they ended up just regressing and died out. But next year, I think I'm going to do like Brian. I'm have the colony in each side, and then I'm going to throw a queen excluder and stack the supers on.
Look at this. We're getting all the all-stars in. Oh, I was just trying to add them. There you go.
Hey there,
Hey, Bruce. Done with your podcast already?
Yeah. Well, it was a short little video. It was fun. Wasn't trying to compete with you guys, but that's when he invited me on. So
hey, it's all good. YouTube's a big space.
Bruce,
Well,
aren't
it's-
I gonna talk tomorrow?
what's that?
I said, aren't I going to talk to you tomorrow?
I think I'll see you somewhere, man. I was all hooked up. I had all my gear on. I'm like, I might as well just jump over there for a couple minutes.
All right, Brian's time's done. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. You got evicted. Hold on. Come on, Kaylee. I got to move them both back to the waiting room.
That's
No,
hard.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Feel like you got your new mic arm there, Bruce.
I don't even have like my light hooked up, my microphone. I have none of my normal stuff hooked up.
Well, you got to save that for the big presentation. Your big presentation tomorrow.
I mean, I
was just
could at least plug my light in.
Bruce, you got honey problems. That was amazing.
Yes, it was. That's what I gotta. When I get off here, I'm probably gonna try to get some of that stuff started editing some of that stuff. I just haven't even really looked at the footage yet, but
He got and if I'm quoting
No,
him correctly,
35-gallon buckets. Try 90. He's 96, right? 96.
92.
92. Dang.
wasn't it
92.
124
total for the year, 92 on Saturday. We had the first harvest, we had, I think, 17. Just that was a spring pull. It wasn't that good, but I left a lot of stuff on the hives then because it just wasn't ready. And I knew I was going to come back later. And then we pulled last weekend, the weekend before, my buddy Rusty he pulled somebody, he didn't pull very many. Lisa was there. You guys get to see Lisa in action. She was there for our extraction. Thanks
Would
for
you
being
get
there,
around
Lisa.
5,500?
You must
But,
have. You
But
must
anyway,
have.
so the last week I did 32 boxes, which ended up being 14 more. But no, it was actually 24 boxes of my honey. I've got a guy. I manage his hives. I manage his hives for him. We had 8, so I'm gonna say 24 boxes, and we got 14 out of that of my honey, which was great because that was 2 of the bee yards, and so 32 if you include it. We did 32 of the boxes that I pulled last week, and so we would have been up around over 100 buckets. There's Lisa, check her out. She had
Hey.
to come in here.
Hey, Ms. Lisa.
You must have read.
We had Michelle there from Birmingham, Michelle Irwin, who you see on our chats. We had Lisa there. Lisa's from Ozark. She's here, local beekeeper, and just all kinds of folks just showed up, man. Just Rusty was there. Richard Prager was there.
You must have read Tom Sawyer about 50 times to say, "I'll let you help me whitewash this fence for that apple. I'll let you help me harvest honey for that brass door knocker."
I'll be honest. Ask Lisa why she came. She didn't have to come. Why'd you come, Lisa?
I just came for the, fellowship and the networking. It was fun. It was hard work.
Oh, it's definitely hard work for
It
sure.
was hard work, but it was neat to see the setup. It was really kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
It was, you really don't know. He says how many hives. I've got about 150 hives in here. We didn't pull from all of them, but that's how many we have. I got 158 boxes on Friday, and then we extracted all those. That was ended up being 92 buckets.
How'd that license extractor do for you guys?
It's good. It's real good. The thing that the Rusty loves it, we love it. The only thing is it's on a cycle, a 15-minute cycle.
Right.
And so with the Maxent, I crank it up. I've got a 20 frame Maxent, which is what I had. I would probably have a Hilco one if I'd known about Hilco back when I bought if it was around when I bought my license or my Maxent. But we can probably go through it about as fast as the 30 frame license because we ramp it up half speed, and then when it kind of stops spinning honey, we ramp it up full speed, and then when it stops spinning honey, we take the frames out, and it actually spins the honey out a little quicker. But I don't know.
You can set the license to full speed, and it will ramp itself up slowly to the full speed when you set it to 10.
That's what he did, but it's a 15-minute cycle, right? So
right.
that it takes 15 minutes. So you got 4 cycles in an hour, which is 120 frames. Anyway, we figured out. We did the whole thing. We started about 8 o'clock in the morning and got done. What was it, Lisa, when you left? You think about 5:30?
No. I got home almost 8 o'clock. But now, to be fair, we stopped and walked around a bit. So
yeah, we were done extracting.
And we finished about 5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that.
That's how these non-union foremans are. They'll work you and work you, and they're like, "We finished at 5," and it's dark outside, and you're leaving.
I think that's
non-union.
Fireworks are going off outside on the 4th, and you're like, "Well."
It was fun though. People just came because they want to experience it. But I am careful not to abuse that. I won't. If I've got people that say they want to come again, but I'm not going to ask people every single year to come. And, some people just one time is enough, but some people want to keep coming back. And I kind of judge that, and I just always tell people I'd like to extend an invitation. If you would like to come, you're welcome, but I don't expect you to come. That's kind of how it went, right? Lisa, I said, you'd love to come if you'd like, but if you.
Lisa, did he at least have free water available for you?
Oh, I had food,
or was it $1
water.
a bottle?
No. They fed us and they watered us.
What?
So, yeah.
Did you get donuts?
No, I didn't have donuts.
We had crumble.
I had sandwiches. Yeah, I didn't get a cookie. Those cookies are like 10,000 calories to one cookie.
I'm going to have to come down and work at Bruce's. I go to Greg's, and man, it took me like 3 months then to get a donut. Here's a little trick about having people over for stuff like this. If you go to Walmart and you got to order a couple days in advance. You order a 4-foot long sub sandwich, and they cut it up for you. They put it in trays, and that was enough to feed all of our people both lunch and dinner that were there. Oh wow!
And then I think it's more than 4 feet. They call it a 4-foot sub. It's like $32. We fed all those people for $32.
It's called Southern hostility.
Those sandwiches, they're huge. They're like that big.
They were good too. I've never had a sub from Walmart, so it was pretty good. My husband likes the Publix subs.
Oh.
Then we had an ice chest full of drinks, and then we also had, my daughter works at Crumble Cookie, if you know what that is. So we had a dozen Crumble cookies there. It's kind of a gourmet cookie, and their cookies are probably about 5 inches in diameter, maybe 6.
Oh, wow. So 10,000 calories per cookie.
We cut them into little sections, like little bite-sized sections, and people snack.
You should. Are they keto free?
They are definitely keto free.
You just have to apply your diet based on what you're eating. Oh well, these I know they got 10,000 calories, but they fit in the Atkins plan, so we're good to go today.
You got to think, you out there working honey and getting hot. You working them calories off.
I know. I said, what I said about the day is if bee venom and beeswax and honey makes for a good, beauty treatment, I had a very long spa day.
Exactly.
How are the bees' temperament, speaking of which? Because I know you got some hot hives too down there. For the honey extraction. No, Bruce.
Oh, Bruce.
Well, I was going to show you these crumble cookies. Here's
Check on the
the
cookie.
here's the s'more brownie. I don't know if you can see that or not, but
Oh,
s'mores
yeah, I see
brownies.
it.
That's just one of them, and they're about 5 or 6 inches in diameter.
Oh, wow.
They've got anyway,
Nice.
but yeah, the temperament was well in the morning. It was a little cloudy. The first BR was not bad at all at the farm. Then we went out to Midland City, and they were fired up quite a bit. But it was cloudy. We actually had some rain moving in the area. We never got hit by the rain, but it was kind of all around us.
Overcast and everything.
Went up to Ozark, and they were a little chippy, but not too bad. And then we drove the first load down to Hartford. Got back to the pollination bees in Newton there, the main ones that came back from California, and they're normally kind of crazy a little bit, but they were just gentle. We went through that. We have 4 of us, 2 of our crew had left by then, and we have 4 of us left, and we kind of had a system rolling then, and we got through those. We didn't have to cover the boxes. They weren't robbing or anything. So apparently there's something around that's still kind of trickling in because they were not at all crazy. Midland City, it was like they were just – it was almost like it was no fun, and that's where Jose's and Josh's queens are, and they're normally pretty gentle. But man, those bees were just fired up for some reason.
Yeah,
And then up in Newton, they weren't bad at all. But we got 66 boxes off that last bee yard. Those were the ones that came back from California that we split off of. Lisa's been to that one. She came and helped us pull last time. She's been out to that one, but we had a really good crew. We had Sea Hill Hives. Greg's not coming down. I think Greg and Brian both would like to have come, but Greg's he's got his things going on. So
I know Greg normally don't like wearing too much protection as far as a jacket or anything. I want to see how he acts when he comes down.
He'll have his jacket. I'm sure he'll need it. If not, I'll let him borrow one.
He'll need it. These spicy Alabama bees are mean.
But
Greg,
I'm sorry, Bruce. Go ahead.
Maybe Greg is just the bee whisperer, but man, I every once in a while I can work them without a jacket, but most of the time I have it. If I don't have it on, I got it close by because they get a little crazy. So
As long as I got a flow going, mine's not too bad. But as soon as it dries up, you better suit up.
Yeah, even the Guardian jacket I had on yesterday, I had so much sweat. It was just dripping down inside my glass. I mean, and it's vented. So it's like either sit there and die of dehydration, or go just put a veil on and, if you want to wear gloves to keep them off your hand. Otherwise, it's just too hot.
Yeah.
Those vented seats really don't mean much down here, I don't think.
No, and
like Mike Berry said, whenever it gets real hot, he prefers the full cotton suit. It seems to wick the moisture out better.
I had a new beekeeper with me. He bought a nuke from earlier in the year. It was Jeff, and you met Jeff, I think, didn't you? At least him and his wife were there.
Yes.
The younger couple that was over there. But Jeff, he just had his jacket on, and he had left it in his vehicle when we went down to Hartford and came back. So I just let him borrow one of mine, and he loved it. He said, "Man, this thing is." He said it's heavier, but I can feel the air through it. So I much prefer the vented jacket, but different people have different opinions, and so. I love my Guardian jacket, man. That thing, I just love the pullover. It's $99. You pull it over, and it just works great. So that's what I use.
I had 2 of the Guardian zip-up ones. I prefer just wearing my veil, but I mean, when it dries up, I got to put the full jacket on.
Yeah, I'd rather do that, but most of the time I end up with the jacket on. So
I had my first Guardian. I didn't care for it too much. It didn't last like 3 months, and it was messed up, zipper messed up. But I will say I contacted them. And they just asked for a picture of what was going on with it. And I sent him a picture, and he said, no problem. I got you a new one in the mail already. So they replaced it right away. Yeah.
They're good people.
Now, if they'll just put Velcro on the pockets, no issues.
Yeah.
At least looking for the Velcro. He's supposed to
I don't know where I put it. I got to mail it to you still.
Well, I'm probably going to check out of here. I just saw you guys doing this. I knew you were doing it. I've had all my gear on for the other thing I did. So I'm like, I'll just click in for a minute. But I guess we got a couple of announcements tomorrow night, some things we got to go over. So we'll be on. We'll see y'all tomorrow night.
Who's the channel y'all going to be on tomorrow, Bruce?
What's that?
Who's the channels y'all going to be on?
It's going to be on Brian.
Okay.
Castle Hives, yep.
And we got to do a giveaway because it's 9:00.
The stream should already be up. Like, it should be public, I think.
I'm sure it is.
For ours?
Yeah, I think it's already public.
It is.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate that, buddy. So we're doing a giveaway for the Saracel Top Hive feeder.
Nice.
And
That's real nice. I like those.
The Blythewood Bee Company has given us 5. We're on week 4 of the 5. So we got one more giveaway after this, and it's very similar to you guys' giveaway, where you just after the video comment in both mine and Lee's channels, give a thumbs up, and you're entered to win. And we're also going to do a secondary spin for a plaque I'm going to make. This plaque, but it's going to have your logo laser etched in it as a secondary spin. So that's what we're going to do. So
I need to get a logo.
Yep, definitely need a logo. Got to win. All right, so let's do the first spin, Lee. For the Saracel feeder, either a 5, 8, or 10, depending on what equipment you run. All right. We didn't have, how many entries did we have this week? Not a lot.
21 this week.
21 this week.
A little bit
Oh,
more.
better odds.
Yep. And because it is better odds, because we decided to go to the 90 days. If you win once, you can't win again for 90
Hey, wait
days.
a minute. Am I up there?
Yep. Grammy's midwife right there.
All right,
Just
here we
making
go.
sure.
And the reason we did that is because we had some people that have won like a hive tool and then won a feeder. So, Randy.
Randy Klingen.
All right, Randy. So if you want to send me your shipping information, Lee's got my email address pre-programmed, and what size you need, and we'll get that out to you. Appreciate that.
I think Randy is. I think he's near Columbus, Ohio, or somewhere. I know he's an Ohio person.
We get there's a lot of Ohio beekeepers.
There are a lot of Ohioans that do the YouTube thing anyway that are on these chats.
We just spread.
Hey,
OH.
Hey, Lee, is there any way that we could do a giveaway based on who's in the channel right now?
Roll Tide, Roll Tide.
Well, we're running 2 different channels, so it would take me just a second. But yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, let's do it that way.
Yeah, just get a participant list. I know how to do that, Lee.
Well, that's one thing. We're running 2 channels at the same time.
Hey,
so I have full
have you seen Lee's setup? This is
I
Lee's
know.
setup up there in the top.
I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not saying anything about Lee because he probably got a button on his computer that he'd put it and he's going to shut down my modem or something. He'd be like, "Okay, Brian, keep talking."
Hey, what do you want to do? Just get on the participate and put plaque in the comments?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Just
So
type the word plaque.
Everybody type the word plaque to get entered to win right now. This first time we've done it this way.
Wait
So.
a minute.
Well, you'll be
I don't
entered.
know how to do this.
Now I'll put you in, Grammy, since you're already in here. I know you're on the phone. It's a little bit harder for you to do. I think she froze.
No, she's trying to.
I'm gonna enter that one because that's something I'd like. Hold on.
Well, I was gonna try to do something for you and Greg and Brian. Oh, look at Grammy's like, I got to get out of here so I can go register to win.
Yeah, she's like, my connection's preventing me from entering.
And I was going to try to do a clock with Brian's logo on it. So I will try to do the same with your logo, Bruce, if you'll send it to me. That one, yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I don't have to be in the entrance. That's fine.
So, Bruce, you got 7,000 pounds of honey. What are you figuring on how to get rid of it? How to sell that stuff?
That is the $100,000 question. or should I say like
I mean,
the
are you going to
$40,000 question?
wholesale it, or are you going to try to retail it yourself?
If I was going to wholesale, I would have taken it to Florida and let them spin it out and buy it from me. But I'm going to try to. I do wholesale some of the stores, but it's not wholesale like,
Yeah, it's
barrel wholesale. So,
Right.
but I sell. I got stores that sell it. I got friends and family. I got my little self-serve box. I sold 6,000 pounds last year that way.
Really?
But
Out
this
of your
year,
self-serve box, 6,000 pounds.
that's no. I mean, there's about four stores that sell it, and then I've got a lot of people know about me and come by and
Hey,
get
Charlie.
it. So.
Huh?
Why don't Charlie, you and I, we could go down to Bruce's. We could just take it off his hands. I don't want Bruce to stress out over what to do with it.
Listen, if you want to come buy the whole lot of it, I'd sell it to you for $6 a pound.
Bruce,
$6 a pound.
Bruce, I will stress out for you.
No, I'm gonna try. I'm working with Rob actually at Laura B's. He's gonna help me figure out how to do my do like a
Yeah, well, now
store.
you're right in the backyard.
Do like a store, and I'm gonna try to start selling more of it online, figuring out the shipping and things. I do ship a little bit, but I just that's been my Achilles heel. I need to figure out how to do that properly.
eBay will allow you to send an invoice, and I just figured out today it'll let you print a shipping list as well. So the shipping, the packing, or the sticker,
eBay or PayPal?
Not eBay, PayPal.
I'm just trying to figure all that out. I mean, Rob is, he sells those vaporizers, and he uses Shopify and all those. There's a lot of programs. I just have never looked into it. I've always just done flat rate shipping through USPS. But if you got like more, if people want bigger quantities, or if it's a different size, like these 1 pound muth jars that I sell or mousse jars that I sell, they're too tall for the flat rate shipping boxes. And so then you just run into having to go by dimensions and weight, and it becomes I saw that. It looks really cool, man. I like the label.
That's lasered in there.
It's dark honey too. But that's been my big thing is how to, I don't want to charge someone $100 shipping to send them a dozen bottles. I got to figure out a way to get shipping reasonable. If I can do that, then I think I'll be able to sell a fair amount of it online. And so, but that's what I'm working on. That's kind of my goal this year. But I've got some places that they buy a lot of honey from me and resell it to the community. There are people who look for my honey out there.
What's Alabama's rules from their Department of Agriculture on selling to somebody who resells?
I don't think there's any problem. I've never really looked into it that much, but we've never had an issue.
So you could be an outlaw right now and don't even know.
I'm saying this publicly.
I'm good.
I'm saying this publicly. If there are any laws broken, Bruce, I can just come down. I will take the load, and I can sneak back up to Ohio. And again, I will stress out for you.
Well, notice he said he would. He didn't say he'd post bail money.
Right. Well, see, the law is here that I can sell up to 4,800 pounds if I'm selling direct to an individual. They're buying it directly from me as a producer.
Oh my gosh.
But if I sell it to a store who resells it, then I have to have my honey processing facility inspected by, I don't know if it's the Department of Agriculture or the people that do restaurants or what. So,
well, I'm not gonna worry about it. I do know that one place here that is one place that's here that sells, wine and stuff, sells my honey. And I guess the inspector came in to check out their restaurant, and someone asked him about the honey, and he said, "Oh, well, we're not going to worry about that." So I think I don't know.
I think that falls under the cottage law in Alabama.
I think so. I think so. But I don't
know
what the rules are.
Yours and Rusty's setup though, it would pass inspection if they, if they got pissy about it.
See, like Louisiana, we can do the resale to a retail store up to $20,000 a year is what they'll allow.
Yeah, I've heard in Alabama it's 10,000 pounds, but I don't know. I haven't really looked into it that much. I didn't ever anticipate getting this big, to be honest.
Well, how many bees are you going to send out to the orchards this year?
My goal is 80.
80.
We'll see.
Then split them again and turn them into 160.
We'll see. I don't know, man. I don't really have a plan. I just know I just got to keep them alive the next couple of months. That's my biggest plan now, because some of them are starting to fade. It's just this hot temperature. It's rough right now for them. So we'll see what happens.
Lisa, next year, I'm already letting you know. Next year, Bruce is going to need you for 3 days.
for 3 days.
For 3 days.
I only went for a half a day this time to help extract. So
Yeah, but
I went.
Bruce will sell all that honey, and then he gave himself a nice Cowan extractor.
Well, that's, I mean, what we're probably going to do is start taking, I'm going to see how much I sell this year. And then what if I don't sell some of it next year, I'll probably harvest it up to that amount and then take the rest of it down to Florida and sell it wholesale to the big packers down there. You can go.
Well, what about Bob Benny? Bob Benny might buy it from you.
Well, Bob Benny's like 5 hours away, and the Florida
Oh,
people
I
are
got
like 80, 90 miles away. So that's a big difference.
Yeah,
Millie Bee Farm. Have you ever taken any down there?
No, it's the big commercial people. Like
The
they
big
have
commercial
like that. Yeah, it's just they sell the bark money, and so they basically it's almost like you can take the honey there in the boxes. They extract it. They charge a little fee to extract. They put it in their drums, and then they buy the honey from you. They inspect the honey and make sure it's okay, and then they just cut you a check. But now it's like $272. I think it's Davis did it this year, and I think it ended up being $245 a pound is what he got. But I mean, he didn't want to deal with the honey, so he just took it down there, and they just wrote they're cutting him a check. So he took down I think 2,600 pounds. Times 245, it's like $6,300. Just it took him 2 hours. They just said it took him 2 hours to extract all that. Gave him his boxes back. He went up, put it back on the hives, and he was done. Yeah. He didn't have to go through the big deal. Wow. So that's kind of we're thinking about. I mean, I've got to look into that more, but we'll see how much I get rid of, and then we'll go from there.
Well, anyway, good thing is it doesn't go bad. So
crazy. Yeah, I better get off here, guys. I'm going to try and start working on a video here.
All right, Bruce. Thanks for stopping in.
Bye, Bruce.
Okay.
Bruce, I'll talk to you tomorrow, buddy.
Okay. All right. Let's do the plaque giveaway, Lee. You got that?
Yeah, I got a list up here. For some reason, it's putting 2 blank spots in there. So if we land on that, I'll just have to re-roll again.
All right.
Hey, Bob, I sent my logos.
Thank you, sir.
I sent both the PNG and the JPEG. So
awesome.
Yeah, whatever.
Whichever. Oh, look at it. He put a picture of it on there.
Got you good.
Oh.
All right, here we go.
Look at that. Oh, Dennis.
Right over the line.
I thought I was going to have to drive the plaque across town to Mir.
There you go, Dennis.
That's awesome.
Send Bob your contact information, and here's his email address to send it to.
All right. So I will call tomorrow definitely for the giveaway. Randy's already sent me an email, he said, so it's probably sitting in my inbox, and then we'll get the sign produced. And as soon as you guys send me that, send me the artwork you want on it, and I'll put it on there. And I got Brian, I got your email.
Okay.
And hey, my tumblers have shipped, so they'll be here. So it's amazing. I didn't believe you. I halfway believed you, Brian. I didn't disbelieve your word when you said that your 3D printer paid for itself pretty quick. But I've had my laser a week and a half, and I'm 50% to break even on it.
I told you.
So, yep. And thanks to B-Bum for ordering a case of tumblers. I mean, that definitely helped out. But it's been a lot of trial and error. Like this was a tumbler I bought where I was actually trying to get his logo right on this one. Thanks. Appreciate that. Was trying to get his logo right on this one. So I had a sacrificial tumbler.
Oh.
So I etched it and etched it and etched it to make the logo right. And then when I was done, and this was a piece of junk, then I just spray painted it and put the Ford logo on it.
There you go.
So now I've got something for myself.
Yeah.
To use. So,
I'm like, I told you about the return. Now, I'm sure if I offered more products, I probably could have made back, some cash faster, but I only have a handful of things. So
I haven't set up a store or anything. It's all been off of either YouTube or Facebook. When I post a picture, hey, I just did this sign. Oh, can you do one for me?
Yep. I'm in the
And
process now of printing hives to take to the conference in January, and I've got like the outer covers. I've got 75 of those printed. The bottom boards, I've got 75 already. The elevated stand, I've got like 36 of those. So I've been pumping out pieces that way. I'd like to bring 100, 150 of those things to the conference.
You
So
have it printing while you're not there too.
I wish I could. I just, I mean, I could show my wife or my son how, but they're busy, they work and stuff. So I just figure with as much as what I'm gone, it shouldn't really affect it that much. I thought I was going to have to travel a lot more than what I am. So,
well, COVID didn't help you in that aspect.
well, true, but the contract I'm on, they told us that they were larger than what they actually are. So, some of the sites where they would have had the entire team going out, they're like, we don't need the whole team to go out there. It's like for 1 week, the last time I was in Denver for 1 week, it was $3,000 to send me out there for 1 week. That's just between airfare, hotel, rental car, food, cost
Right.
$3,000. So they're like, we're not sending the whole team out to these locations if it's only like 60 employees. We don't need
Right.
to do that. So, those that like, we were supposed to go last week to Albuquerque, and they told me they were like, your tickets are like $1,500 round trip to go to Albuquerque. You're staying home.
Right. Well, it's and I used to do that a lot when I worked at Cardinal Health. I would get flown because it was
Yeah.
such a niche market. What I did is that
Yeah.
if someone went on vacation, they would literally take a person from another location, just fly them down there for the week
Yeah.
because they ran so tight on the amount of people that they had, and it just was more cost effective for them at that time to do that. But it's funny because every time you would go down there for something, it killed me because they would say, "Hey, what do we got to do to get you to stay here?" No, easy. Write the big golf check. If you write
Right.
that big golf check, things can happen.
Yeah.
We have a Cardinal Health about probably 35 minutes for me because I run all the fiber optic network in there several
wow.
years ago.
Yeah, they're located everywhere. So I I moved from here, worked at Michigan State. Michigan State, I went to Charlotte. From Charlotte, I worked in Fort Lauderdale. And then my mom started getting sick. So the closest I could get back to here at that point was Augusta, Georgia. So I moved there. And because every time I moved, they wrote that bigger and bigger check. It got to the point that when they started losing contracts, because it's all contract work with hospitals,
Yeah.
that when they started losing contracts, I was the guy that they said, well, you know what? We could replace Bob and basically get two people for what we're paying him now. So that's how I ended up getting out of the pharmaceutical industry. And then my kids I had a junior and a senior in high school, and they weren't wanting to move. And I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to move if I was just getting ready to graduate.
Right.
And
Right.
so we stayed and sucked it up. And then my mom got sick and we moved back here. And now I do beekeeping.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how it went down.
Charlie, how far are you from like Philly?
Probably an hour or more, maybe hour and a half.
I'll be in Philly 3 weeks in August.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So you're flying into Philadelphia.
I'm going to drive over because it's only a little over 5 hours for me to drive over because I'm like 20 minutes from the Pennsylvania line. So, I just get on I literally get on the turnpike
Turnpike.
2 miles from my place,
Yeah.
and I'll just stay on the turnpike till I hit Philly.
So the turnpike takes you right to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, takes you over there to the Blue Route, I think they call it, and then you go straight down into Philly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Hey,
I'm gonna drive.
Dennis said that he owns a full woodworking shop, so
Yeah, I just
we
seen
can
that.
respin the wheel.
Oh wow. Go
So
figure.
so you're saying there's a chance?
That'd be Bob. That'd be like you doing a honey giveaway and it lands on Bruce.
You're right, right. Hey, so you know what? I think I've got an idea for what I'm going to do for you as well, Brian. When this clock comes to fruition, I might I might do. I want to do it, but I might do you a canvas with show enough on it. The show enough. The show enough.
There it is, sure enough.
The show enough shogun on it.
That's classic.
All right, you want to go with comments in the area again?
Yeah. Well, if you want to win a plaque, let's do comments again. Or do you already have one made up?
Nah, I'm let them do it again.
All right, let's comment plaque again.
Plaque.
Clean it.
No,
Clean excluders.
Awesome. That 3D printer may be my next thing.
That's what
I'm
I'm
telling you what.
Or I might get the CNC. But the CNC, the only reason I didn't buy the CNC is because of the amount of noise. So it would have to be outside because, the router going constantly, would be crazy.
I'm working with Jason, Bohemia Bees.
He's got the same thing I've got, the X tool.
I got an idea but I got to do it on my printer. So we chatted on the phone, and I know what he wants to do. So I've got part of it designed. I just got to finish it up. My first version didn't quite fit. So it'll be something easy. And Charlie, you would probably use them. But I mean, everybody.
Yeah, now Jason's about an hour and a half, maybe at the most for me.
Oh, okay.
He's on the eastern shore of Maryland, which is the part of Maryland next to the Atlantic Ocean.
And Charity, saw they had canned air.
They had it at my grocery store. I didn't see it till after I saw yours, but they've got it in my grocery store, local grocery
hilarious.
Store.
We're working on an idea that.
And then from Laura B's. What's his name?
Rob.
Rob. He's about 20 or 30 minutes from my house.
Really?
Yeah.
I might have to.
Yeah, drop your link.
Will.
Drop your link for your Etsy store.
For
Hail Hives,
Brian?
I will.
Yeah, for Brian. You got his already programmed in there?
Yep.
We haven't had a dirt rooster sighting in 2 weeks, so it's about time for him to show up.
I just dropped your Etsy store there, Brian.
Oh, wait! Give the call of the dirt rooster. Maybe that's what we need.
Brian, you said that is it your daughter or son was getting married the same weekend as Hive Life?
Friday.
Are you going to be able to make it just for Saturday? I mean, that's going to be a haul.
I am. I've already accepted that I'm probably 9-10 o'clock at night. Just going to drive through the night, and I'll just get down there and I'll probably have one eye closed and
a donut and a Starbucks.
Yeah, I'm probably going to drink a lot of coffee and I'll be down.
Just be careful.
Right.
Yeah, I will. I mean, it's.
Hey,
I was going to go up to EAS up here at Ithaca, New York, which is about 6 hours from my house, but the cost of rooms up there are astronomical as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, really?
They're like anywhere from $250 to $300 a night. I'm like, I was like, it was going to cost me. We were going to make a week-long thing out of it, do the whole thing. I've never been to one of them. And it's like $1,700 to $2,000 just for the rooms. And then on top of that, you got $335 for their tickets for the week. First you have to be a member, so you have to check, you give them $35. Then Then it's $300 for the week if you don't just want the conference, which is $200. And I got to looking at all that. I'm like, I'm talking $3,000. And then I know some people that told me the inside scoop is like, all right, you want to go to one of their dinners or whatever you want to call it, your banquets, oh, that's extra charge. Or you want to go to, actually, they're going over to Kudik's Farm, Bob, from that place up there. And I think that's an extra charge. They're having a barbecue or something over there at his place. Plus,
and that's the EAS. What's the name of it? EAS.
Yeah, it says Eastern Apicultural Society. They're the ones that certify you as a EAS master beekeeper.
Oh, like David Burns.
Yeah. He would probably be there. But it was like, $3,000. I'm like,
that's a lot of cash.
I was like, forget it. I booked. I got my tickets for Hive Life, and I've got my accommodations for Hive Life, and it's going to cost me for 5 nights because I kind of make a vacation out of it, and I get down there. I'll get down there Tuesday evening, and then I have a day of just kind of going up into the mountains, and there's lots of stuff to do there.
Oh,
and $1,100 for the whole week. That's it. Compared to 3,000 or more, I'm like, forget it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I looked at the itinerary, and I'm like, well, here's queen ring and this and candle making and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I could teach all this stuff. I don't need to, take their class area.
Yeah.
And then they had their conference, and like Michael Palmer is going to talk about sustainable apiary or brood factories. I'm like, yeah, just go to the internet and watch the video.
Right.
Yeah, you ready to bring up the drone?
Huh?
Yeah, we're gonna do the drone.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right, this is for the
plaque.
for the plaque. Again.
And some reason it still got the 2 blank spots on there. I got to take Dennis's name off there. Nope,
Flower Street.
Flower
Street Farm Bees. Cool. So hit me up on my email and email me your logo, and we'll get it on there.
I was going to try and meet up with him when I was in Denver, and my work schedule did not allow it. Flower Street I was literally in the same exact town.
Where's he located?
He's in a suburb of Denver.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Did you get to go to see Jose while you were out there?
July 22nd. I have that planned. So I'll be in Sacramento that week. I'll be working Monday through Thursday, the 18th through 21st. And then Friday the 22nd, I literally will be in Sacramento with nothing to do. And Jose is like an hour and a half from where I'll be. So I told him, I'll just plan on being up at his place at like 8 in the morning or so. So yeah, Lakewood, Colorado. I was literally right out there.
Daisy's Honey's planning to come here when he's on his vacation in Myrtle Beach in August, I believe he said.
Hey, Flower Street, I'm going to drop Bob's email. Just send him.
You say you're going to be what time in August are you going to be over at Philly? Is it the first week or not?
Let me pull up my work calendar and see. I'll get the exact dates. Let me see here. Oh, this stupid thing wants me to sign in.
So I guess I'm going to have to start buying hive tools. People want lasered hive tools. And so I'm going to have to start buying some hive tools for giveaways, I guess. Hey, maybe I can get Blythewood Bee Company to donate me some hive tools to laser. And I'll put Blythewood Bee Company on one side. Maybe that'll work. I'll talk. He bought honey for me, right? Blythewood.
Let's see here. Sacramento.
And Steve, I'm going to break into your mead you sent me this weekend when my daughter comes in from Germany. So he sent me 2 bottles of mead.
Yum.
I got blueberry mead,
Hmm.
and we got regular honey mead. Well, they're both honey mead, but one's got blueberry flavor in it. So
Oh, wow.
Yummy.
Hey, Charlie,
Mhm.
the very last week of August, so the week of the 29th,
Okay, that's fine.
and then the week of Labor Day, and then the week after that. So 3 weeks in a row. But I'll probably cruise. I'll cruise home for the weekends and that. But uh, I might arrange like a day where I can meet up with people. So because I know you're out there. I know Jason's out there, Rob's out there. There's a couple people out there. Jarrett, is well. I got to get with him when I'm in Virginia. But
Hey, Brian, whenever you come down here to visit Bruce, make sure you bring that can of air with you. If not for the elevation, you're going to need it with the thick humidity here.
oh, we got humidity up here.
oh, it's not the same, my
Uh-uh.
friend. It is not the same.
No.
Yeah, I've been down south. I work down south. I don't mind it.
Well,
As long as you're running into a car with air conditioning or a place with air conditioning.
Yeah.
you can get in the shower, you can dry off, you can get dressed in brand new clothes and walk outside, and it's 2 minutes after you step outside, you're sweating and
Yeah.
drenched again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Is it
Well,
raining?
guys, I'm going to call it a night.
All right,
See
Lisa.
you later, Miss Lisa.
Thank you.
Actually rained today, and last week I harvested 500 pounds of honey,
Nice.
and there's another, I don't know, 15 more supers out there. If I can get between 200 and 300 more, that's my estimate, about 700 to 800.
That's awesome.
And we've had a little bit of humidity here lately, but what else? I'm going to expand up to 12 honey hives. These racks like behind me there, I have certain size racks for like my nuke yard, and I could have up to 30 nukes. I'm going to back down. Actually, I'm going to reduce some. I'm going to go to like 12 honey hives and maybe 20 nukes.
Well, see, I started with 12. I had a goal. I wanted 1,000 pounds this year. Not going to happen.
You can do that. You can do that. I mean, last year, because of the weather was nice and it didn't rain while the main flow was on, and last year was my first year doing single the brood chamber management. I actually got 1,100 pounds of honey last year out of 10 hives, and this year I'm figuring with it raining about once a week, or especially right around when the locusts and the poplar were blooming. If I can get 800, I'll be happy. I just don't want to run out for my local customers. I retail it all. And I've actually, like today, I think I sold.
Well, see, I'm kind of starting to take the Bruce approach of it. I've probably got 8 or 10 cases of honey in my kitchen, already bottled up, ready to go. Spring and fall honey. So I'm going to try to go to this country store down the road that carries, I mean, when I say country, I mean, it looks like an old barn, right? I mean, it's country store. So
right.
I might try to retail some over there and get them started. But I don't know, because it's a thin line. I don't think they have that many people going out to inspect these to see if your label's accurate, like by the law. I don't know that there's anybody that goes and actually checks it. Well, here's a bottle of honey. Is that actually
registered or anything?
Yeah, I don't think they've got like a big force.
The only place I know is Pennsylvania. I mean, they're pretty restricted. They're quite restrictive. I mean, they come out and inspect you have to have a designated honey area. it can be your kitchen, but you can't have animals in it and things like that. And then here in Maryland, you have to have your name and address,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much it. We're pretty laxed here as far as that goes.
Well,
Like
like
here, you got to have your name, your address, or your contact information, your address, phone number, and
Yeah.
then you have to have either
Now,
pounds or
some-
ounces, and then you have, actually
weight.
have to have grams also.
yeah, so that's what
I do have weight. And,
I just had the size and weight and contact information and pure honey, you know.
See, whether we put 16 ounces or 1 pound, that don't matter, but it has to have like the slash and then how many grams, 454 grams.
Well, tell them I live in America where we speak
That's
English.
what I say, but that's our requirement.
Well, and the rain has really hurt because I would just go out on, like Saturdays and Sundays and set my truck out there with the honey on it. And I would sell a lot of honey, but the rain has kept me from even being able to do that because I'm not going to lug 10 cases of honey out and set it in my truck only to have to run to put it in before the rain. It becomes cumbersome to load and unload and load.
Well,
and
you
unload.
just, you put a honey sign, you make up a nice big sign, get somebody to print you out one.
Oh, I got it. I got one out there.
Don't put, put a nice, like a size of a realtor sign or something like that. And that's what I do. And over the last, amount of years that I've been doing it, you build up that clientele and they know where to come.
Hey, Johnny, that name's a Gamber Container.
Yeah, I just got 3 cases of bottles from them.
Well, I've got another. I do have another
I
sign.
do.
I ordered 2 for $25 off of Amazon that says local honey sold here. And a lot of people see the sign, but they won't stop unless they see me out there.
Mm-hmm.
So either some people will and honk the horn that I've bought a few times, but most of the time they won't stop unless they see me sitting out there.
Yeah, now, like what Daisy was saying, I do have actually it's a botulism warning label.
Yeah. I don't think it's a requirement here that I found, but I still put it on there. It tells you how to decrystallize it, place it in warm water, whatever, but not to give to infants under 1 year.
Yeah, that's correct. And then I also had a friend of mine who looked in about, liability. And that was one of the first things that the insurance company said they need to put on the bottle.
There you go, Brian.
When you're around Baton Rouge, Lee will buy you dinner.
If you come down here, I'll buy dinner.
Hey, he'll make a boil for you.
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
do a crawfish bowl.
I
I
tell
think
you
we've
what,
only done 3 of them this year so far.
What is
I
it?
would be right there.
What is it?
Crawfish bowl.
Oh, okay.
Or as we call them here, low country boils,
Up north, they might call them crayfish.
crayfish,
Crayfish, yeah.
crawdads.
Now around here it's crabs.
Well, some of them down here call them mud bugs too.
Yeah, but I mean, for
I've heard that.
in Maryland, everything's about the Maryland crab, and crab cakes and picking crabs and stuff like that, steaming crabs. We steam them down south; they boil them, and
Yep.
then I think the big thing for us is we have this sauce, or not a sauce, but you put this Old Bay seasoning on there, and it was a Maryland family that actually invented it, and it kind of makes the crab thing unique.
Yeah, that's a lot of people here do that, Clint. In South Carolina, they'll split them because we still have a long enough season of warmth that colonies can still do well. If you watch Barnyard Bees, I think he's actually done it until late September and had success with queens coming back.
Yeah,
If I did it, I don't think I would go past August here. I mean, I probably could, but I wouldn't take the chance.
the thing
In
of it is,
Ohio,
the
did
summer
a split.
solstice is already hit, and she's backing down.
Yeah.
Mhm. If you did a split in Ohio in September, all you did was you
Freeze
said, "Here,
bees.
I'm gonna sacrifice those."
Right.
That's
That's
exactly
just
right. I mean, it's like here in Maryland, because Maryland and where you live at, Brian, are pretty darn close weather-wise.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, I got a guy wants to buy a nuke right now this week. And I'm like, I went out there last week and I'm looking and I'm like, I got a lot of ones coming on, they're growing, but this guy hasn't even taken a beekeeping course. I'm like, you know what? I think you need to take the beekeeping course first, then come back to me in the springtime.
Yeah.
Better for the bees and better for you.
We had to do a little get together the other day. One of my buddies got killed back in 2018 on a motorcycle. So every year on his birthday, we all gather at his mom's house, the bike club and everything. And they showed up, and the leader of their church, they have an actual biker church here, and the pastor, he's wanting to get into bees.
Oh wow!
So he's asking when's the best time. He said, "Can I go get them now or next month?" I'm like, "Well," I said, "we still have a little time, but we're in a dearth right now. So I mean, you would have a hard time getting on started." I said, "Your best bet, go ahead and buy your boxes, build your stands, do whatever you want, have it ready for next spring."
Yep.
I said, "Do a little studying, a little reading, and you'll be ready for springtime."
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did with my nukes. I started going through them here this past week, and they're dry. The frames are dry, and I'm like, okay, we need to put some juice on here, and because they're going to shut down, not lay.
Yep, I actually mixed up 4 1-gallon buckets of sugar water yesterday. I was going to go try to pull honey and put the sugar water on them, and it come a storm. So it's still sitting on my counter in 1-gallon buckets.
Wow.
Oh, Clint, you just missed Bruce. It would have been a perfect question to ask him if when he stops splitting. He's in South Alabama too. So that would have been perfect. Alabama.
My question for Bruce is why did he use 5-gallon buckets for that amount of honey? I mean, is it easeability?
It may be moving it around, how to lug it. It may not have.
I know he doesn't have a forklift and that kind of thing. So, I mean, that amount of honey, I would think you would put it in barrels. But then that's the problem. You get 150, 200 hives, then, you have to scale up on the backside when it comes to forklifts, honey pumps, how to handle the product after.
That's when you start getting into some real money, though. Just even a small honey pump can run you $2,000.
Yeah, and then you figure, like a friend of mine that video I shot with unloading those nukes, that Hummer-Bee he has, it's used, and even though it was used, it was $30,000 or $40,000. Yeah.
Wow. Now, when they bring the tractor trailer full of nukes like that, it's not like a sod truck where they've got the lift on the back where they could, here they got the sod truck.
It's a 45-foot trailer, and they got them on pallets. And
you have to unload them.
Yeah, well, he has a Hummer-Bee, which is like a 4-wheel drive forklift.
Right, but if he didn't have that, how would he get them off? By hand?
No, I think, previous to that, he actually would go down there next to your house and pick up a truckload on his flatbed.
They told me if I got 250 or more, that they would deliver them. So my thing is, if I did a list and we sold 250 nukes and people came to pick them up or whatever, then, or if I loaded them up, I mean, is that something, here when they do sod, they have the pallets of sod on the side of the truck, but they have a forklift on the back.
They got a Moffett. They call it a Moffett. Yeah, it's on the back end,
where they just drop it down and they roll it around.
They have that type of stuff or not. The truck driver that was hauling that stuff, he was an independent. He's used to hauling bees. He had the netting and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But
well, I'm hoping that I'll be able to sell some nukes, even my own nukes, without making a list in the spring. But I'm already thinking next year.
I mean, I sell nukes, and once people know that you're selling nukes, you don't have to advertise. You'll get the word gets out.
I had a young fellow stop the other day, said his granddad used to keep bees, and he's got all his granddad's old equipment sitting over there, and he wants to keep bees, and that, how much did I charge for a colony? And I told him. He said, "Well, I might be coming back to get one," and I tried to give him the whole, well, it's not a good time. Oh, why did I do that? I didn't mean to do that.
Hey,
Jeff Thomas said good night, y'all, and it hid the comment for some reason, and I accidentally hit the hide instead of the show. So Jeff Thomas said good night. Sorry about that. So,
hey, James, that you did the plaque for, is that Noel or Noel? His last name.
it depends what part of the country you're in. Probably. I
I'm
said
going to say
Noel.
Noel in the South. Anyway, I was going to tell him thank you for ordering a shirt out of my merch store.
Man, he hadn't even ordered a shirt out of my merch store yet.
Yeah, but he ordered a plaque from you.
He did order a plaque from me. There you go. Works out. But I got my Beacon Bad on tonight.
I'm going to drop a link to your store in there for that shirt.
Those look great. Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to reply to your email right now.
I would.
Right?
I really would be curious at how much weight these things could hold.
Reply.
They are, and he even put that extra shim on them. That way, when you put them in there, they don't wobble back and forth. These things are. I took 3 of my deep frames that were capped both sides, honey frames, and put them on these things, and they didn't even budge. So
the only thing I can tell you, put your little rope or a piece of cable or something on it and start hanging weights one at a time until it snaps.
Yeah.
If you hold 3
You
frames
making,
on
Ryan?
it at one time, I think that'd be plenty. Because most people's only going to put 1 or 2 just to make room to maneuver.
Now, do you use them? I haven't used. I've got some metal ones, but I don't use them.
Periodically, I will. It just depends. So, what did you say, Charlie?
Did you make them?
My brother actually designed them. They'll hold 3 frames. Yeah, my brother actually designed these, and he even put the little, castle hives in there.
I bet you it'll hold a lot of weight because of the way it's braced with like a bridge almost.
Yeah. I just I messaged him today because Mike Berry was talking about getting a set, but he said some of his hives are, they're 3-4 inches apart, and he said he would love to have a set of frame holders. So I'm going to get some dimensions for my brother, and he's going to make a set that'll only hold 1 frame. So he's just going to shrink this up so it'll only hold 1. So
just to give you some room to work the colony and put the 1 frame back.
That's it. Yeah. And that's all I normally do when I use them. I just throw 1 frame on there, and
That's me. I gotta have something kind of narrow like that because some of my hives are real close together.
Yeah.
Well, what like those stands you had there, the way it's worked out with the distance, I actually can put a frame and hook the ear on the front part of that 4x4 there, and then lay the other one down, and it'll stay up pretty straight.
Huh.
Most of them, I'll just lay between the hives and lean it up against one side.
And I have a frame holder. It's another one. I started out using it, and I liked it and all, but I don't know. You just kind of get used to not doing all that stuff.
Now, some of my hives, I mean, they got a little bit more room in between some of them, but
my 10 framers, I've got a design where I have a rack where I only have 2 hives, one on each end, and then there's an area in the middle that's open. I mean, you could put a hive in there, but I designed it to where I would put a upside down telecover, and that way I don't have to bend over as far, and keeps the the boxes up off the ground, that kind of stuff.
All right,
I see that comment there about I wish they made some that would hang over the front. I could get dimensions and send it. My brother's better with designing stuff than what I am.
Well, the problem you have with them hanging over the front is that you have the frames already on there. So if you've got the frame rest hanging there, I mean, it would have to be all the way out wide, which may not be long enough. It might be too long for a single frame to hang in them. Otherwise, you have to hang them right where the where the frames are. I mean, you might be able to stick them down in between the frames, but that might be cumbersome to get,
I'll have to
get
look
the
at
frames out. But yeah, so Larimore said he had double deeps. Would you split them before winter or run them through in double deeps? Well, there's a couple questions. How's your season run? When's your temperatures get cold? Do you have mated queens? Do you not have mated queens? Are they going to have to raise their own queen? Because then you need to look at when they're going to be starting to hatch their first brood, and if they'll be able to sustain themselves until they get that cycle going in there.
Now, Larimore, is he the one in South Carolina also?
No, I don't think so.
Larimore, where are you located?
Is it?
I thought he was in Canada.
I think that's LaGrange.
Yeah, I think that's
Oh,
LaGrange
yeah.
too.
I always got them two mixed up.
Yeah, LaGrange is Canada.
So there's a bunch of questions, that are specific to your geography, right? And you know what I've seen this year that's different? That is like these nuke boxes that I've gotten, the free ones, frames that are stapled together that weren't glued first, that are they're just coming apart. I think that where someone just stapled them on the end, and they had wax in them, but they still just pull apart.
I prefer everything glued and stapled, or glued and nailed.
Well, I do too, but I think the glue by itself would have been stronger than just a single staple holding the frame together. I mean, if you're going to sell nukes, at least give them something that when their first time beekeepers get home to pull them out of the box, the frames don't break,
Yeah, I believe Larimore is agreeing he's in South Carolina.
Yeah, Eastern South Carolina. Oh, yeah. So you're in Florence, right? Yeah, if you have access to some queens, or if you don't, if you need to buy some queens, come see me. But but yeah, if you need, you could probably get away with it this time of year. Florence is about an hour away from me east. And I've got some in two framers that I could pull out for you. And then I merge the bees back with mine. But yeah, you could still get away with it. I think I don't know if I'm going to split my big colonies, but I know I am going to use them to equalize my weaker colonies to make them stronger.
Yeah, that's what I did. I had one nuke that had like 4 frames of cap brood, and I pulled one of them frames out, and I had a 2-framer that I upgraded to 5, and I've dropped another frame of brood in like that to kind of boost them up and get them.
Larimore, are you like by Georgetown? That's where my wife's from, Georgetown. Georgetown has this big paper factory there, and you have not smelled stench until you smelled a paper factory. Hey, Tim, good to see you, buddy. Does the plastic hold up in Texas heat? It's not really plastic, though. It's monofilament, right?
This?
Yeah.
This right here is printed in PETG, so it's UV resistant, and it's got a pretty good heat tolerance. If you leave it somewhere where it's going to get, if you leave it in a window and you got the sun literally like magnified down on it, it's going to warp this stuff. But just for the everyday use, I mean, I've had a set of these literally in my bag that sits in my bag, and we get 90 plus degree in Ohio. It's fine. So
right.
It was a normal use just out in the sun for a few minutes doing inspection and then put them back up. I think that'd be fine.
But even like a normal inspection, they're good. I mean, if you left these things, if you hung them on the side of your hive, just that, I mean, if you even left them hanging there a half an hour, it's not gonna affect this.
Well,
only person I know that my brother has printed something for that warped is they forgot what he had made, they forgot it on the car seat of their car and walked away, and it literally was warped to, but now their car was probably, I don't know, however hot cars get in the sun.
Now that looks like it's the same color as those 9-frame spacers.
I could print those too.
And I've left mine out in the heat, in the rain, and everything. Those things, yeah. And I've left them out in the heat, in the rain, and they're fine.
Yeah.
No problems.
Yeah, this stuff, if you look it up, it's called PETG. And it's a UV resistant, it's a pretty heat tolerant plastic. And I mean, it's strong. I mean, it's pretty darn strong. So,
hey, you know what else that's the same color as, huh? Yappy shirt.
Yappy shirt. Hey, matter of fact, that's how you need to brand it. Yappy orange. Yappy orange frame hangers.
Been working on printing. Hey, Jarrett, if you go on my brother has these on Thingiverse. If you look up frame holder, like in the description, he's got, I made these for my brother, whatever, but you'll see these darn designs. He's got them on Thingiverse. So.
Oh, that's going to look good, y'all. On that plaque, that Flower Street Farm logo. It'll look good.
You already tracing?
No, not tracing it yet. I'll wait till afterwards. I'm not a very good multitasker, but I can make that happen.
Here, let me look up something here.
Thingiverse?
Yeah, I'm gonna
get the link.
Yeah, I'll get the link for him.
Now, see, you got digital designs for physical objects. Is most of it free, or is it like
what's that about?
You hadn't been around too much lately.
I don't know what the legend's about. I don't know.
Oh, see, Brian, there's so many different things for the X tool on there.
I know what Bob's going to be doing till 4 o'clock.
Oh, and the very first thing is the laser feet in grid. That's what I need right there, the laser feet.
Okay. Email me the link. Like, if you go.
So if I hit collect thing or share.
Well, I'll put the
email.
I'll put the website in. That's it right there. It's thangs.com. And yeah, just send me the link for whatever it is, and I can look at it and see about printing it.
All right, let me.
Jarrett, that Thingiverse link right there, that's
I watched this guy on YouTube.
So he's got a non-commercial thing on here, and he watches some of his stuff. So because he's got an LLC and all that stuff, so if he's got it licensed, my brother is
All right, so I just sent you an email of the feet on Thingiverse.
Okay.
From Thingiverse. So
okay.
That's pretty cool. Thingiverse. Okay. I was hoping it would have had some digital, like non-3D designs on there.
Oh, well, all I got was it's an X tool.
Do what? I clicked the link. Oh no, it's coming. It's after that because you asked me to tell you what it was at first.
Oh, okay, I got it. All right, let me look at it and see.
So I don't know if that'll.
Is it? It's just that round thing.
Yeah, but you need one for each corner, right? So.
Oh man. Let me see, because I can tell you right now, even like with the design program. Slice now. It would take me 22 minutes to print the one.
Wow.
And it's a cost of 14 cents.
Angs.com is what that other one is.
Yeah. I wonder if I can share this thing. We're gonna digress. We're just gonna digress.
You ready for me to bring that up?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, see, this is the one piece, and you can go through and you can tweak it. Like I can click on it and say, yeah, I want to do a couple of them. You know.
Oh, they've got the same things over on Thangs as well.
And then you slice it, and it tells you, like, to do 6 of those, it's 2 hours 9 minutes, and it would be 82 cents.
Cost of filament, 82 cents.
Yeah, 82 cents. That figures the cost of filament and electricity.
That ain't bad at all.
No.
I like how it figures it for you.
Yeah, and you can even like go through here and see how it's changing.
Right.
You can add in, like, say you want the base. Now, I've never done this, but say you want the base right there to be in one color, then I can click and add a different color for the top. See, you can do so much stuff on there. It's kind of ridiculous.
Hey, Morgan, Brian sells those beehives on his Etsy store.
Yeah. I've got those beehives. They're what are they? 39, I think. And the only reason why they're that price is it literally takes almost an entire day to print that whole hive setup. So I'm running my printer literally for like 23 and a half hours it takes to print that. So now
do you ever have a problem where it's in the middle of a print and it just stops? Because I've had that happen on some lasering. It'll get like 65% and then it just stops, and it's like, now what? I gotta throw that out, that piece of wood.
I've had it where it's run out of filament and my sensor didn't pick it up, and then you just lose it. So, but like my prints, like like the stuff for the hive, and like this here, it's an hour and 40 minutes to print one of these. They're not like exceptionally long prints, so if I lose one, you're not losing that much. So the beehives, the only reason why it's so long is it's literally all the pieces.
Right.
It's all those little pieces. You can't throw it all on there together. I would need a print bed that's
with the laser. This takes about 15 minutes to do.
Wow.
So, but the problem is if it stops halfway, that's $8 wholesale price that I just have to chuck in the trash or paint make me a Ford cup like I did my other one.
Now, are you running the two 3D printers, or you plan on adding more to that?
Man, I don't want to get any more.
You notice what he said, though. He don't want to. He didn't say he wouldn't.
I run this other thing on. Hey, Jared, I saw your thing with the resin printers. Yeah, I have seen those. I got this other thing on here. I'll just share my screen real quick. I don't have it hooked up, but there's this other. It's called Octoprint, so I can connect right by my computer to. I have a little board that is connected to, like right here. If I go into the hive, it tells you like right here. Look, 2 brood boxes is 6 hours. 2 supers, 4.5 hours. 8 brood frames, 5 hours. So
the your standard, if someone orders a hive from your Etsy store, it's a single deep, right?
Yeah.
Or with no super.
No, it's the deep and the super. And then I have a listing on there too for extras, and I've got the cost per box. So you could buy, if you want to get an extra super, you could. I had one person, they wanted an extra deep and 3 extra supers. They wanted a 6 stack, and this darn hive was. I'm like, man, that thing's going to topple over. Like,
Well, I'm looking for my super.
The one I got from you, that was the $39 one, I believe.
Yeah.
Had the
Yeah.
telescoping cover,
Yep. The
inner
inner.
cover, all your frames,
Yep.
and your super. Queen excluder,
Yep.
9
frames and the
frames,
feeder.
and the feeder.
Yep.
Bottom
The bottom
board,
board, entrance reducer.
entrance
Yeah,
reducer, and the
it's the
stand.
whole setup. I mean, they are slick to use, for a lot of people. There were a good number of people that actually bought them
Yeah,
that are, use them at B clubs or
I used it at elementary school.
yeah,
I went to
they're
elementary
in
school.
some form of education, and they take them out and it, instead of hauling all the woodenware, yeah, and there's the top bar.
I actually have everything, but it's in a bag. And here's
Yeah.
the bars, right?
Yep. Yeah, and that should fit in. Yeah, if you take the top off, that'll fit in there, and then the top goes over it. Yep. And they are, I mean, they are a slick little thing, So,
Been looking for a used extractor that I can modify to take a Lane's honey frame. Michael,
wow.
if you ever look on Facebook Marketplace at extractors, you might be able to find one. I see there. I mean, some of the stuff that I see on Facebook Marketplace is kind of, they've got, I've got this whole warehouse full of beekeeping stuff, and I'm not breaking it up. I want 20,000 for everything.
Right.
It's like, first of all, I don't have 20 grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And secondly, I don't have a whole warehouse to put your whole warehouse full of stuff in.
Yep. That's just it.
Hey, Morgan.
James ordered one of yours.
I tell you what, oh my gosh, I don't even know how many of those things I've sold. 100 and something, I think.
Crazy.
At least. Let me see here. Listings. No, I got to go to my stats. I don't know how to work all this crap. Let's see here. All listings. Let's go this year. Well, that can't be. Well, maybe. So just this year, 72, and I had I'm probably closing in on 100 of them.
That's not bad. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, here's the main thing with even my laser. Once it's paid for itself, then you got a cool toy that was paid for by other people.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, I like tinkering with this too, because like the thing that Jason and I are working on, it'll be something that I think he's going to probably throw it on his store, and then we'll probably take it to the Hive Life conference. And it'll be something that's cheap. It's just going to be a couple bucks.
Right.
You can attach it right onto a hive. Something that's a couple bucks.
Well, you could do that as well. You could take those hive stands and make it flat with a bar in it that you just screw it right to the side of the hive.
Yeah.
Or to the back or front,
Yeah.
That would be an option.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, you could.
Thanks, Charlie fell asleep.
You could snip this off, right here, and I could put a bigger shim with screw holes on it and literally attach these onto every one of my hives. I mean, if I wanted to get fancy, but, I don't know. You can do so much. I mean, like Bug Farmer, he uses 3D printers. He's printed out entrances. You can print out the dials. You can print. I mean, you name it. You can get to making whatever you want, really.
Right. Well, we've been going 2 hours and 10 minutes.
I know.
And we've got one more giveaway of a Ceracell Top Hive feeder.
Oh man!
And what you need to do to win is you got to actually go after the video ends to both mine and Lee's channel. Give the thumbs up, if you haven't already, and also leave a comment. And if
leave that comment after the live is over.
Yeah, after the live, and we try to have that tied up by Monday. So if you're trying to sneak it in before a Tuesday show, you're not going to win. You're not going to make the cutoff. But that's what you got to do to get entered in to win that. And we will be doing that usually around the 9 o'clock hour is when we try to do it. It's funny when you do a show and you're like, in the 9 o'clock hour, the 10 o'clock hour, or, for us, it could be the 1 o'clock hour. 9 o'clock Eastern. And, we've already killed 2 of Dry Cut's phone batteries. He had to recharge.
And then if besides going to leave comments and all that, if you want one of those shirts that Bob's wearing right now.
One of these shirts, Beacon Bad, and on the back it says "Be Addicted." So
you can go check out his store right there. Link in the comments.
And it helps float us along, guys, a little bit. And he's got his gear store.
Yeah, I'm about to bring it up because I'm not wearing my shirt tonight.
Wizenhunt got his high feeder today from last week's, but he's all the way out in Washington State from South Carolina, but he got it. So that's good.
I got the shirts, the coffee mugs, or the hats.
Lee does everything in excess. Look at that. He's had that like a week, and he's got like total geared out designs.
Wizenhunt said he got his feeder in today, and I'm going to drop a link to my store in the comments there.
Awesome.
No, the plaques are not listed in my store, but you can send me an email if you would like a plaque. I've got plenty of the plaque material. Send me an email and get you a good price. Good price on it. The shipping is kind of crazy, and shipping's getting ready to go up. But I sent one of these bullet tumblers to my nephew in North Carolina. I mean, that's the next state over. It costs $10. I sent a plaque from here to Michigan today, and it costs $12 to ship. So, but we can work that out. If you Hail Hives, if you want a plaque, buddy, just hit me up in my email, rwalker2016@gmail.com, and we'll get it going for you. And I appreciate all of it, guys. It's right now, it's to the point for me that I'm going to have to start looking for work, which could influence on the show, on what happens. Obviously, if it's a factory like at Husqvarna or something and you're working second shift, makes it difficult to do a show on Tuesday nights during second shift. So we're just going to play it by ear. Otherwise, I'll be Ubering, and more Ubering. Oh, there's the thunder. But, the bad part about doing the Ubering thing, which I can make decent money here Ubering, but it makes me have to keep my truck very clean, which means I can't keep bags of sugar, hives in the back. I can't be hauling around beehives all over town with people in there. But you know what? I think I've had this happen before. I think I'm going to keep a few bottles of honey in my console, because when I've Ubered and tell people that I'm a beekeeper, they're like, "Oh, really? Do you sell honey?" I could reach in my console and be like, "Absolutely, boom! Here's my Cash App."
I carry a box in my car at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
normally anybody I work with, they turn their order in the day before.
Yeah, well, what I've been doing is, I would have my truck loaded down, because I would just roll it to the front and take it from the back seat to the tailgate. But then I was doing some Ubering, and I'm like, no, I got to move that inside, because in case there's people that need to get in the back seat. So it's, darned if you do, darned if you don't type of thing. But
DC said leave one in the back seat. Just
give
them a little hint.
Give them a hint. Hey, what's this honey? Oh, you like honey? This is great stuff. I even keep one of these little jars out there. If somebody wants to know the difference between fall honey and spring honey, I'll put a jar out there where, here, just taste it. We'll do a sample. The guy, it was so funny. This is how Southern we are down here, guys. I had a pint. He bought a pint jar of honey, and I went in and got it and brought it out. He handed me the money, and he pops it open. It takes 2 fingers and just scoops it right out and just puts it in his mouth, like right out of the jar. I'm like, are you gonna wash those first? You know, those fingers you just put in your honey jar. See, now that would look good. That would look good with the Kodiak Farms emblem lasered into it.
He had to give the wife the one without the fingers in it.
This has actually got comb in it. This is the one that somebody told me 3 weeks ago. Oh, can you save that till Saturday? I'll come pick it up. So now I've got one left. One left that hasn't sold.
They just said Saturday. They didn't say what Saturday.
Yeah, next.
Exactly.
That's exactly. So guess what? I should just the next person that comes up and says, "Do you have any honey with the comb?" Absolutely. Boom. I'm spiteful like that. And then when they call me back, "Hey, you got that?" No, sold it. You waited too long. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know. Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's when you give them a time limit. You got until next week, and that's it, buddy.
Well, the funny thing was they contacted me on a Saturday that I put the pictures out saying that they would come next Saturday if I could hold it. And I said, okay, for you, I've known this guy since high school. Yeah, okay, I'll hold it till next Saturday. So next Saturday, I'm getting ready to load things up. And I'm like, hey, you coming to get this honey I've saved for you? Well, DirecTV charged my account. And okay, I got you, bud. No problem. Yeah. I understand things happen, but you could have at least told me, hey, I'm not going to be able to come get it.
Hey, Jarrett, send me an email and give me your address and everything. I'll send you some. I'll reply and give you my address.
I've got about a case of honey on my desk here from people sending it. Sending honey.
I think I'm going to call it a night here in a second.
Me too. Now I've got lasering to do. I got to get my laser set up to do this plaque and get it done. And
well, everybody that's left in here, don't forget tomorrow night the stream team's going to be over on Castle Hive.
And then guess what? You can get 3 solid nights of bees.
Yeah.
You get us on Tuesday, the stream team on Wednesday, and Hillbilly Hives Live.
That's it.
On Thursday.
Hillbilly Hives Live is going to be on Tennessee Mountain Bees this week.
Tennessee Mountain Bees. That's it. So
I'll have to remember that way tomorrow we can let everybody know also.
Does it get confusing? I mean, we've discussed about doing it the alternating nights. The main reason is the chat box, right? People on my chat can't see Lee's chat. We can see it, but they can't see each other. So they end up flipping back and forth. Like right now, to give you an idea, we've got 53 people watching. There's 24 on my channel. So that means
29 on mine.
There's 29 on Lee's. Now, by YouTube algorithm from that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't help. It helps Lee. It doesn't help me.
Yeah. We spoke about having a shared thing, and it just, I think it works better how we have it, where it's just, on one channel, because that way each week there's a channel that gets all the hours and all the benefit.
So I mean, if you look at if we done it just on Bob's tonight, we would have had 64 on his versus 22 right now. And then next week we'd have 64 on mine. I'm
not going to say YouTube is devious, but I think YouTube is devious to an extent.
Just a little
bit. And we kind of figured it out. So if you're promoting an algorithm of the exact same thing, and they've got to pay me because I'm monetized, and they don't have to pay anybody that watches Lee's, but yet they will still run advertisements when you're watching it on Lee's.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they, business wise? Why wouldn't YouTube?
I know.
So
I know.
Is what it is.
Sneaky.
But the thing is, if we did do it on one channel at a time like that, they wouldn't have a choice. They'd have to put it all on one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we need to start doing that, Lee. Just flipping channel to channel.
That's up to you.
We could
I
try
mean,
it.
I'm
Try
easy.
If you look at how your hours are, I don't know if it would benefit, Bob, it might benefit you some. I don't know. Lee, I don't know how your hours are. I'm sure your hours have taken off though already.
I'm running about 800 right now every 28 days is what it's showing.
No, but how many do you got for the year?
For the year?
Yeah, how many do you have in a count, like for a rolling 365 day?
Right now, just for this year, 2022, I'm at 2.8
thousand.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see. Last
So, I mean,
365.
He'll get his 4,000.
Because the thing is, this year I'm at 2.8 thousand hours, but if you go to 365 days, I'm at 2.8 thousand.
Okay.
Because
So
I started this channel in 2020, but I really didn't do anything. I posted just a few small videos last year.
Yeah.
But this year is when I really started doing stuff, February and March.
It would benefit, you would get to your 4K like that, because even if you figure if there's 53 people that, if you get 100 watch hours every other week, you're getting, 200.
Just like for the last 28 days, I'm right at 800 hours.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean,
my watch hours wouldn't be a problem to hit 4,000 for a year.
Yeah.
I could do that basically in 4 months. If just getting that 1,000 sub mark.
Yeah, that's
but
what
slowly but surely you'll get there.
Brian, you said somebody promoted you somehow. How you jumped into 2,000 subs or something? Something happened.
I had some. It's like a homesteader kind of prepper guy that I was at like 800 or something, and this guy with like 40,000 subscribers that I just watched here and there, he popped into my stream the one day, and literally in like an hour I gained like 500, and I was just like I was doing one of my regular lives and I had like 13 people in it, and then next thing I knew there was like 600, 700, 800, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? I was all confused. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
I was confused too, because I was watching your channel and you had less subs than me. Then you went to Hive Life and came back, and all of a sudden you shot way past me. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and Hive Life did it too, but it was the streams, because before we started the streams in the end of December, I was at 1,800 and some subs, and I'm closing in on 2,900 now. So I've gone up in
you're 1,000, like 1,000 ahead of me now. A matter of fact, speaking of which, I've got 1928 as we speak right now. So I need to get 72 more. When I hit 2,000, I'm giving away that licensed solar wax melter.
Oh, wow.
So if you haven't subbed and you're watching on Lee's channel, because obviously if you're watching on mine, you're sub. And since Lee has more viewers than I do at this current moment, sub to my channel and help this number get to 2,000 so we can give away something.
There's a link in the comments.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I had a video I put out here a couple of weeks ago, and it went, I won't say viral, but it's got like 2,000 or 3,000 views on it.
It makes no sense. Brian said the same thing to me. Man, I don't understand. I put out a video and it's got like 1,200 views already. And
do you want to know my most popular video is, let me see here. It's one about steak, grilling steak.
Right. Oh, okay. So everybody, if you're not subscribed to Beehive Homestead, he says he can't get subs. Let's go ahead and blow him up while we got 40 people on here, and give him some more subs.
While they're looking that up, Eamon's got a question there on the screen too.
Where is it? Today I found of my weaker hive a lot of wax moth. Do you know what the reason? Because it's your weaker hive. That's exactly why. Exactly why.
You got them in a 10 frame, 8 frame, 5. What size are you running there, Eamon? You may have to reduce them down to a smaller hive and close the entrance down. What
Probably got
channel we
queen
going to? You
issues.
said Jarrett Beehive Homestead?
Yep. I've got it right here. I can paste it.
He's probably has queen issues. That's why the thing's diminishing for some reason.
He said he's running 10 frame.
I would get, I'd say 5.
Depending how weak it is, I would say a 5 frame if you can.
Got to shake them in. All right, guys. Well, now we're at about 2.5 hours. Let's go ahead and I think it's a good spot to call a day. So if you haven't subscribed to Castle Hives or Sawmill Charlie, and somebody asked about the view time of Sawmill Charlie, no, he's not gaining any view time tonight, but he is thinking about doing a live stream as well. So,
hey, I mean, if Bob, if you got, maybe that's something we could do. We could all kind of share streaming things. If you're working that night, if it happens to go that way or something like that.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I see here is he's the engineer. He's got all the gadgets that make this thing flow great. And, I don't have anything. All I got is a laptop.
Yeah.
And I think that's
what I started with just a laptop.
Ryan here, Ryan on the stream team, you're pretty much the engineer behind the scenes.
They call me the tech person, because like our streams, literally, I'll have all the video questions, everything all is set up, and I usually get on about 7:20, 7:30 my time, and I get everything all set up and lined up, and it's all set, and mic checks and all that stuff. And so,
Lee and I do that too. We get in the back room in the studio, and
usually at least 20 minutes early.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce will text me and say, "Hey, pull this video up," and I just So
Lee's the producer, Bob's the color commentator.
Yeah, it's like tonight. People are asking me, a question or whatever over here on the right hand side, and the only way I can do that is flip back to the original screen.
Yeah.
And try to find it. Where I think that's where Lee's got those extra screens. You've got all those different ones running at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I do. Is I've got 2 monitors. I actually have 3. I don't use a third. I don't even know where the thing is. Oh, it's packed up over here. I don't even use it. But
I'm actually looking at adding a 4th 32-inch monitor in here on the vertical layout.
Really?
2 works pretty good. I mean, I've used 2 monitors with work for about 5 or 6 years, so I'm used to the double screen, and 3 to me, I haven't had a need to go to that level yet.
The main reason I do 3 when I'm editing video, I use Premiere Pro, so I can pull different aspects of the one program to 3 different windows.
Oh, okay.
You can split them out of your main window and actually move
Yeah.
pieces of the program around.
Now, Earl put out a video, and he gave me a shout out, and Lee and Bob, and
You guys, Castle Hives, yeah.
was it Castle Hive? And
Well, the stream team, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
He texted me about something the other day. He's a good guy.
Yeah, it's
He ain't bad for a hillbilly, huh?
yeah.
He
cracks me up when he's like, I brushed my tooth. He brushed his teeth. He brushed his teeth.
He got on there. It says about me. It says Chainsaw Charlie. I'm like, what? And he comes back.
Is it? I think there is a. Is there a YouTuber called Chainsaw Charlie?
I don't think so. He came back and said Sawmill Charlie.
That's funny.
There is a guy named Chainsaw Charlie, a YouTuber.
Oh my.
Oh, but Chainsaw Charlie, I guess, is a WWE guy from back in the day.
Oh.
So, what do you mean, a wrestler?
Yeah.
Was he related to Hacksaw?
Terry Funk on becoming Chainsaw Charlie. So there you go. So now you're also a WWE superstar.
That's it.
So
Chainsaw Charlie.
Chainsaw Charlie.
Nah, I hate chainsaws.
All right, guys. Well,
Yeah, let's get it. I gotta go.
we're going to go ahead and call it a night, guys. Make sure you check out the stream team tomorrow on Brian's channel and Earl and the Hillbilly Hives Live over on Tennessee Mountain Bees. And, man, let's keep it going. And then hopefully we'll get Charlie and Sawmill Charlie's live set up.
And Bob, and you get an extractor, and you get an extractor, and
Oh my God.
get an extractor.
You know what? All right. So since we're at the end of the show, I'm going to pick a bone on that for a second. I've talked to my man
Let me
over
put my
there.
feet up here.
I've talked to my man over there about offering a discount to the viewers, right?
It's breaking up, Bob.
Not even a big discount, right? Just something, right? A discount for viewers to buy from him. It's not like buy from somebody else. It's buying from him. And he said he was too small to do it. And now giving away extractors.
Well, no. We paid. The reason why we phrased it that it was like him and us, because we paid some cash for it. We did. Each, Bruce, Greg, and myself, we fronted up some cash for it. He gave us a hell of a deal on one. But I think you'll see some changes coming because he had like there was like I don't know what it was, like a Google person or whatever that would advertise. And the amount of money that he put towards that, he wasn't even recouping it back in sales.
Right.
Mike Berry did his video on his extractor.
I saw people going after y'all's show buying extractors.
He made more off of Mike Berry than what he did paying this other consultant guy. So it kind of changed the thought. And that's where I think at first, and when you are a small business, you got to kind of watch where you throw all your stuff at.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're going to see kind of a direction changing because.
Well, I mean, look at Cayman Reynolds. And I told people this last year. I said, do you realize what he did? And he did everything on YouTube. He did not advertise one stitch in any trade magazine whatsoever. Yep. And he is killing everybody in the conference game.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And well, it's like over the years I've been, they'll say, oh, there's so much bad information on YouTube, which there is some misinformation. But I'm telling these other guys, I said, look, you better wise up. You got a whole generation of new beekeepers coming on, and they've grown up with computers, and their first choice is to go to a computer and YouTube or wherever.
Yep.
Right.
I said, you gotta change your mindset.
Yep.
Well, the thing is, this is such a niche market. If you're a beekeeping supply, the best way to get to beekeepers is through beekeeping YouTube, because like you said, that's what I did for 2 years. I watched YouTube videos on beekeeping.
Yeah.
And now I've learned more about what beekeepers to watch in my area.
Right.
Because it makes more sense that when Bob is doing a split on his colonies, well, maybe it's time for South Carolina people to be looking at doing splits.
Yeah.
And when I was doing splits, Brian, you're like, well, we're still a month or two away from that,
We still knee-deep snow.
We still had snow on the ground.
Yeah.
So, well,
overall, though, I think, like, to piggyback off of what Charlie's saying, Cayman, he definitely is on it. But, also from that conference, you look at it. I mean, we started our streams just before it, but it's kind of more into this thing where you're connecting all kind of people. You guys doing yours, Earl and those guys starting theirs, and you have that community now that literally, I mean, how connected is the community of folks?
Right.
And I mean,
How many people got my phone number
I
now?
mean, look at
You know?
me. You know, in January of this year, I see Brian. I meet Brian at Hive Life, and I say, Brian, what kind of camera should I buy? And I said, I'm going to get a 10. And he says, no, get a 9. And then Yappy's dad, and he said, don't get a telephone because it'll ring about the time you're trying, to do a video. So I bought,
this thing, and not to cut you off, this thing that I was saying, my camera didn't overheat when it was 91 degrees, and I don't know what the heat index was, 100 and whatever. My GoPro overheated just running off of the battery stick. So if you buy a camera, Charlie, get a 9.
You mean like a regular camera? You mean? Or,
No, GoPro.
Get the
that's
GoPro.
that's what I'm using now is a GoPro 9.
My Max overheats. My 5
I mean, no,
does not overheat.
Yeah, what it was is I said I was going to get a 10, and you told me, hey, don't, because the software wasn't right.
Yep.
So I came home after Hive Life, and it's like these brick and mortar stores. Oh, please come and support us. You go there, they never have anything.
Yeah.
So I found GoPro online at their store, signed up for their membership, got a big discount.
Yeah.
I got the camera. I got extra batteries. I got, the actual extra visual screen on top.
Oh, okay.
And the media mod and all these different things. And I've been using that from day one.
I think what makes that the GoPro 10 overheat more is that new G processor, the G2 or whatever. It's a fast processor, but I think that's what's doing the overheating.
Part of my problem, Lee, is I'm filming in 5K.
That probably do it too.
With a frame rate.
Everything I record is in 1080 30 frame, but mine does still get warm outside, but it hadn't shut off on me yet.
Yeah.
I haven't had any of that problems.
Tim,
like my rear view of my monitors and everything right here. That's my GoPro 10.
Oh, okay. Tim, what are you filming in, like resolution wise? Are you 1080? What are you filming in? Because I film at the 5K.
I do 1080p 60 on mine, and it's still, of
course. I do 1080 30.
Yeah.
Because I filmed the first time at 4K. And my computer won't handle it. I can't. It just will not handle it. Well, that's the next thing I got to buy is I got to buy a new. That's another thing, Lee. I need to find out where you got your computer made.
Actually, I just got it from newegg.com.
Newegg?
Good.
Now, I mean, I got it from them, but it's built by a third party, a company I'm wanting to say out of Oregon. But don't quote me. I'll get the information to you.
Well, the other thing is with the footage in YouTube, I notice when I do 1080p 60 or higher, it takes them a long time to process the high def version. If I do 1080p 30, it seems like it processes a lot quicker. I do 60.
You got there, Brian, is that what's the advantage of that battery? Just longer lasting?
It won't die on you at all.
It's longer lasting, but you don't actually have a battery in the camera to be able to.
There's no battery in the camera, then it just goes straight from this straight up. So
that is a battery.
And you're supposed to be able to film for, let's see here. No media. Every single time it's like it resets though because I keep
that's that think thing. Yeah, I can't get it to hook up to my cell phone very well.
So the quick
app.
Well, even if you use the quick app, if I'm going to go live through my GoPro on the quick app, it still has to go through a Wi-Fi connection, not Bluetooth. If it was Bluetooth through my cell phone, it would be different, but it's got to have a Wi-Fi.
Tim doesn't use the media mod. Maybe I'll take that off because, like right now, It's 5.3K, 60 frame a second.
Hey, Kylie, he still hadn't ordered the straws.
Hey, Kylie. See,
So,
I have the
my
media mod.
biggest complaint of all that GoPro stuff is the mount. You got to tear the whole doggone thing apart with the media mod to get the darn battery out of it.
Yep.
Now, I also use a Rode mic system.
Okay.
And I hook my Rode into that.
See, I don't have to take everything off to change my battery because I have the media mod, but I've only used it once, and it just stays in the case now. I never use it no more.
Really?
I've got another mic.
I got the Max Mod lens on it too, so I mean,
yeah,
I don't need all the extra. Plus, I use the external audio.
I have another mic, an external mic that maybe I need to use that instead of the media mod just to see if that helps.
Media mod work. I mean, I like the media mod mic, if it's indoors and whatever. But when you're out in the bee yard and there's that pesky bee that just loves to get on that there fuzzy stuff, or like that Rode up there, if I have that Rode, a little one, in my pocket on the outside, they go directly to the fuzzy.
Yep.
To the dead cat, and they get stuck in there.
Yep.
So now you'll see me. It's always on my hat, and it's inside my veil.
I find that those external mics don't really improve the quality, at least not for me, not with my voice. My GoPro, when I use the GoPro, it seems to pick my voice up fine.
Well, the one in the media mod worked great. I mean, these techie guys kept saying, "Oh, the quality and this and that," and I'm like, I find it just fine.
The media mod audio I found was pretty good, but it has a front mic and a back mic. They're not both on at the same time. So if you got the front mic on aimed at
what kind is that?
You can barely hear yourself.
It's Cinco, and it's right comparable with a Rode mic, other than they cut out. They say like range tests they cut out after like 60 feet or so, and I'm like, and the Rode they say, oh, you can get clear from 300 feet, whatever, and I'm like, I'm never going to be filming greater than 60, 70 feet. So for me, this works perfect.
Yeah, well, in my situation,
you barely see yourself anyway.
The Rode mics, the B Club bought those for the B Club, so I get to use it.
What I found also is I have this X5. It's a separate lavalier mic. That this lavalier mic was like $70 or something. If I had the regular lavalier that came with this setup, and even like the Rhodes, they tested that lavalier on, the sound there's no comparison. I don't know what it is, but just having a better mic plugged into those, transmitters did a little difference.
You'll have the condenser in some of them, and it'll knock out that background noise. As far as my lavalier, I have the Rode lav mic.
Yeah. Now
I plug that
and
in.
that's better than the mic that's built in the little unit on a Rode.
To me, yeah.
It helps. Yeah. Now,
I mean, so far I'm pleased with what I've been putting out as far as sound, and the big thing was I put the microphone inside my veil, and you don't get all that buzzing and stuff.
Yeah. Maybe because I've got a 9 and a 10, maybe I'll take the media mod off of my 10, just use it without, and then I can use my external mic on this. And then I can always use my media mod on my 9.
Yeah. Well, now, if you got two cameras, why aren't you doing an A and a B roll? Is that just too much?
I've tried, and literally it just like it already. And I mean, like you everybody on here knows you all film stuff. When you're just doing beekeeping stuff, you're kind of like to hear, you've got a million things in your head, but then you take filming in it and it takes you up to here. And then you add a second camera and it takes you up to here. I did it a couple times and I was like, to heck with that.
Too much work.
I
It
thought
was-
about it because I have 6 different cameras that I could bring out there. I thought
Yeah.
about just bringing all 6 at one time,
Well,
getting
and
all
I've
different
got-
angles, just play around. But it's too much.
Yeah,
of
I
a
mean,
headache.
it takes so much time. I mean, there's a lot of extra time, you know.
I have this thing also, this Nikon that literally, you know, this is a heck of a camera here in itself. Yeah. But it's just too much. It's too much.
No, I just keep what I got then.
Yeah.
I mean, the only complaint that I have is so much sun when it's sunny out, and I can't see the monitor. I wish I had I don't know, a 6:8 monitor with a screen shield around it to where
Right.
you could see
know-
yourself better. Now, I
They-
have used my camera or my phone here recently to kind of
Oh, okay.
frame up the shot, which was pretty decent.
They do have LED like 6-inch screens. I don't know. look at Lee. I don't know how well they work. Like they're compatible with GoPro, but then if you get a good sunshade on it, I don't know what that would do as far as working the battery then too. Like if you're plugging all that stuff.
So why couldn't you use like an Amazon tablet, an Android tablet that you could just sync to your GoPro through the Quick app?
Well, like the GoPro 10, the way the Quick app works on it, they had a lawsuit between the developer and GoPro. You can frame your shot with the Quick app, but once you hit record, the video disappears off of
That
your
happens
screen.
on my live stream, so I have to switch to view my live stream, which takes me to YouTube,
Wow.
and then I can't read the comments for the sun glare most of the
Now, see,
time.
my old
Sun
4,
glares-
I can still use it.
Yeah, sun glare is what kills me.
Yeah.
But I do have a friend of mine. His wife's in the entertainment business, and he does have like a great big Canon camera like that. But he's got, like you say, it's a 6-inch square screen, but it has a 5 or 6-inch curtain around it, so he can see. But he's doing the camera work. A camera guy's great for that. But but
What-
it's just,
that's
it's
Canon.
more gear, and it's like you're trying to. For me, it's like I'm trying to get my B work done and do a film at the same time. Bring everybody along with me.
Brian, what Nikon is that you have there? I've got a 3200D, I think.
Mine's the 53.
I got a D7200 and then the D810.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, I know you guys get out in your B yard. I mean, there you go.
It's on my GoPro
I
stuff.
like that.
Yeah. Does you find viewer wise, like Lee? I mean, you're in there, and I know Brian did that one today. I watched about going through these supers and stuff. Is that a big? Do people like that type of stuff?
Some do. I mean, I get decent amount of views on them.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to be doing some other stuff too. How I guess somewhat how to doing this or that. Just
Well, I
something.
mean, I put out the pool and honey supers, and that was kind of a how I do, how to do, and I even taught Bob how to keep the bees out of his super using telecovers.
Well,
Charlie, my last couple videos, and I have no clue what it is. My one before this, I've got almost 1,100, almost 13 on the one. I've got almost 1,800, 1,400. They've been doing okay, getting over that. My one that I put up 6 hours ago now is almost at 400. So I don't know.
Well, you've started spreading out in between your videos. You're not putting out as many videos. So I wonder if those people are like, oh, Brian put out a new video. Let me go watch it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I put a video out every Friday. At least, I tried. That's my goal. I already got one lined up for this Friday, which will be extraction.
Yeah,
my honey.
We're actually doing that Saturday at Greg's place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he got him a new extractor too down there.
I'm part of the reason why he got that because, and I don't know how much he paid, but his learning yard that he does, it's time where they can harvest. So
Right.
he wants to take them through the whole harvesting process. They're going to go out, they're going to pick the supers off, they're going to scrape
Right.
off the capping, spin it. But he didn't want it. He's got a 20 frame license, and he's like, I don't want to do it in all of this big stuff. So he's
Right.
like, what would you get? And I said, when I started, I had a little 3 frame jobby. I said, it's just the backyard beekeeper. They're not spending $1,000 on an extractor. They're a backyard beekeeper,
Right.
So that's the only reason why I think.
Well, I know last stream team he said, "Well, I might be getting in touch with you when I need a new extractor for my learning yard." And then I saw Justin Ruger say, "I'm delivering one to Greg." Like it was like boom, boom.
I don't know what size, but like literally, I'm going to bring down. I've got one of those decapping inserts for a bucket where you set the frame on.
Mhm.
So it's going to be backyard beekeeper.
This is how we cut them. This is what you're
nothing fancy. This is just the basics,
bare bones. Yeah.
And he's not going to use his big stuff just because he doesn't really want to. I mean, if you're new into beekeeping and you're seeing these monstrous pieces of equipment that cost thousands of dollars,
right,
you're going to get a little intimidated by all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, that's what I said the other night with my small extractor. I'm like, I could still see a use for that. If I'm only going to pull a little bit of honey, I could just spin it in there and not dirty up my 30 frame extractor.
So what's Greg? He say learning yard. Is he like bringing in church groups or something, or kids, or
anybody that's purchased bees from him? They can come there and there's no charge. It's just every other Saturday, whoever wants to show up shows up. And the last time I went, there was almost 30 people there.
Okay.
So, and he installed packages literally the same exact time that he delivered them. So that way they would be building out at a similar rate. So that way they would come to his learning yard, kind of do the inspections with him, and then get a feel for, okay, when I go home to my hive, this is what I should be seeing. And he does it all for free.
That's good.
But he's kind of getting into bee supply, isn't he?
He does, yeah. He's got a little shop there. He sells, the wax dipped hives, and he's got a couple of Rob's vaporizers. He's got Premier Foundation he stocks. So when I ran out, he actually was going to be up in my area the next day. I was in Denver and I was talking to him. I said, man, I ran out of frames. And he was like, I'm going to be driving through Youngstown tomorrow. He's like, how many do you want? I said, if you can drop off 100, perfect. So he's got, Premier Foundation. He's got a little bit of stuff.
I think I may have hooked LaRobbie's up with Blythewood Bee Company, so they may be carrying his stuff here too. Cool. I mean, that's the last conversation I had with Rob. They were having a hard time. ProVap can't get them any vaporizers. So I said, hey, you could be opportunistic and set up a deal with them, and next thing there's no ProVap, in there.
Yeah.
So hopefully they
Rob
did.
Is really.
He's got a good product.
He does, and I mean, if he honestly cares though too. I mean, how many business owners they throw their personal cell phone out there for basically everybody? If there's an issue, call me.
Right.
He's
always called me back when I've called him if I didn't get him on the phone the first time.
Yeah.
So,
I know his product's good. I mean, I've had no problems with it.
I actually need to order one. My ProVap, this is the third year I've had it. And now keep in mind, ProVap was $500 when I bought it. It probably still is. And it's starting to, its temperature, when I first got it, it would get up to it would say 270 on there, and then all of a sudden it started getting to like 250. Now it's getting into like 240. It's slowly starting to degrade the temperature that it'll get up to.
Now, if you look at this, is why I don't understand. Like, this is why I never went to the Pro Vap years ago. It's just the money of it.
It's still $485 right now.
Rob's right now.
It's like 300.
275, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sharing his site. He's got the model that I have where the nozzle is towards the top. See, that one's 260. The macro that is the lower entrance is 281. You know, the newer one, the
battery powered
ones on the battery, that's 495.
But it doesn't come with the battery. You have to buy the battery separate.
You have to have the batteries, yeah. But even if you look at these here, you know, like Bob, your stuff, it's all by your house. So you could just run over, you know, you could run an extension cord over. $281 for that vaporizer.
Right. I actually got the power inverter, so I can just pull my truck up there now and run the extension cord right from the hood of my truck.
Yeah.
That's what I do when I go to my out yards, hook up the inverter, and I got a 100-foot cord just in case I need to go that far.
Yep. Yeah, his prices on these.
I feel like I could open up a bee supply store here where I'm at and be wildly successful because it's 30 miles. Not that I want to compete with Blythewood Bee Company, but it's 30 miles. You know, people could cut their time in half to get stuff. You know, on this side of town.
One of my members of my club is moving down where you live, Bob, and they, you know, they're used to Maryland weather, and you guys are. I mean, the bees that they had sent down there to their new property had exploded, you know, in the spring quicker than what they're normally used to. Mm-hmm. And they said they couldn't find any bee supply company around there.
No, if I had capital, which I might have some capital coming, if everything comes to fruition, if that happens, that may be the next thing I get into. We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't want people necessarily coming to my house to get bee supplies. So it'd have to be a storefront of some sort, which that's where the expense is. You have to sell a lot of bee supplies to pay $2,000 a month for a storefront. You know?
Yeah.
So that's the. We'll just see how it goes. If this guy does what he says he's going to do, then we'll figure it out.
Well, now we've been here for 3 hours.
I know.
Yeah, he's got to work in the morning.
Yeah,
I got to go
come early.
You all?
All right,
guys.
Catch you later.
All right, y'all have a good night. Don't forget the Stream Team tomorrow and Hillbilly Hives Live on Thursday. Check those guys out. And Brian, make sure you mention us next time for Tuesday nights, even though it's a whole week away from you.
I'm gonna have no. That's I will. Yeah, I gotta write. I'll write myself a note. Text me and say, "Don't forget us tomorrow." I'll write myself a note because I do. You know, you guys 8:00 on Tuesdays, us 8:00 Wednesdays, and then
Earl 8:00 on Thursdays.
What are they calling theirs again?
Hillbilly Hives Live.
Hillbilly Hives Live. Okay, I got to remember that because they're newer.
It's a tongue twister.
Hives Live. So okay, yeah, and I'll probably throw up a banner or something that has it so people see it. So
cool. All right. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow night then.
All right, y'all.
All right.
You take care, buddy.
Have a good one, guys.
Lee, Bob, I'll see you.
All right, man. Thanks. All right.
I'm going to drop a link to both of our stores again real quick, just so everybody will have that information if they feel like going over and checking it out.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Good evening.
Good night.